the team's head coach and will get a contract extension. Missoula has been the interim coach since Ime Udoka was suspended in September. The All-Star break starts tomorrow. ESPN's NBA Commissioner Adam Silver comments on dealing with officials who make mistakes calling games.
They are absolutely held accountable. We don't publicize discipline for officials. We don't think that would be appropriate, but their assignments are affected by the quality of their calls. Whether or not they progress into the playoffs and then round by round is impacted by the accuracy of their calls and their demeanor on the floor.
Adam Silver, Michigan State teams will play this weekend just days after an on-campus shooting.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
We're going to have to show a little more patience than the year two pom-pom people.
Kasey Kurtz.
Yo! Well, what are we doing, bro? Come on!
And Aaron Schachter.
I'm all in favor of these two showing their love, really celebrating their relationship.
Get him! Get him! Hit him! Hit him! Hit him! Yeah! Pull that from! Yeah! Pull that from!
This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Kasey Kurtz, and Aaron Schachter on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
Oh, we got some kind of special Thursday energy today. It's not the same as Friday energy.
No.
It's different energy. It's Spike the Mouse energy. It's come in here and be like, don't criticize the way I spike the mouse kind of energy. Leftovers from yesterday. Leftover mouse pieces. New keyboards.
Scattered throughout the studio.
The IT guy goes, how come every time I see you, you're asking me for a new mouse or keyboard? Your boy Aaron may have some anger issues.
He hides it well for the most part in these 3 hours.
That's true.
Do I?
There's going to be a remake of our home run call, apparently, from last night.
I'm glad that you leaned in.
It wasn't good.
It was good.
No. Ours was good?
I thought that was great.
No, okay, good. Well,
Souvenir
first home
City,
run, we kind of
Casey's?
missed the first home run because we were still trying to figure
That's
out
not
the
good.
audio.
Usually, if you want to be good broadcasters, you don't miss the home run call.
Listen, this was not a professional
We tried our
broadcast.
best.
Clearly.
This was
I think that
not.
was clearly displayed in the fourth or fifth inning when there was no audio, and then suddenly Brent pops back on and goes, this is usually where I eat dinner.
That's right. I did have that. Here's the thing about the first home run call. It wouldn't have been good anyway, even if we were set up, because we weren't sure if he caught it. There was
it
a
was really hard to
chance the
tell.
outfielder had caught it.
Well, don't you look at the ump, and the ump's doing the whirly bird?
That's a good idea.
Well, I'll tell you this.
We're rookies.
He wasn't really whirly-birded, and then the batter wasn't really sure, and then, we
All
just
right.
played.
Confusion overall.
We had a lot of fun doing the game, though. And so,
It sounded like you guys had fun. I had fun listening to you guys.
I think we can do. This might be a future thing
You
around
had,
here.
You had interested people. Like you had you had a ton of views on Twitter, and on YouTube you had a lot of live viewers. I was one of them. It was fun.
Well, and then with a thing like that, a lot of the players go back today and check it out and watch it as well. So apologies in advance if you're going back and watching something.
Hopefully that one kid did. The kid that I was talking about all game, the
Hunter
catcher.
Rogers?
Hunter
Yeah, I
Rogers.
haven't seen him yet on Twitter, but I hope he did
We
too.
need Hunter Rogers. We need to hear from him.
We almost need him to come on the show.
I
Like
borderline
he's
to
a
reach
legend around here. I don't even know the kid. Like the crazy thing is, I know about all the other kids
This
that were
kid
playing.
had an at-bat that is just, they'll write stories about it one day. This man is fighting off pitches. He's a freshman. This kid's throwing gas. He walks. Batting gloves were trash. We'll work on that. Don't worry. He's got 4 years to figure that one out. But, hey, that kid's a legend.
Oh, look,
Did something just happen in there? Did something just happen on TV?
Oh,
Are you watching the right thing on TV? We interrupt this programming.
breaking news.
I'm watching D'Angelo Russell.
What are you doing? Can you put the right channel on or whatever channel it's going to be? Because Tiger Woods,
Casey, Tiger
everybody,
Woods
has
is
just
playing.
teed off at 3:04.
Here's how many.
We are about to. We
Yep.
did not plan this in
Yep.
the show, but we're
We
going
did
blow
it.
by blow.
We did it, and I'm going to make you look like an idiot. I'm sorry to do it. It's not on TV, you bum. It's on ESPN Plus. Nobody cares enough to even
I
put
can
it on
watch
TV.
ESPN Plus. I'll do it right from here. ESPN Plus, plenty of people can get.
For money.
You
We
gotta
have
throw
that
some
for the
cash
UFC stuff.
down. That's good.
Yeah.
So Tiger tees off today.
I don't see
What's
him.
our expectation? Did you see it's plus 150? He makes the cut.
I think it's about fair.
I'd say I'd probably
Then go hammer
throw
it.
a few bucks
Well,
on
you're
that.
out of you're out of
Yeah,
time.
I can't do it now.
Unfortunately.
Talking a big game now that he's teed off. And
Yeah.
he's in a bunker,
No,
probably.
it feels right. That's not an easy golf course. He's familiar with it, but it's not an easy golf course.
Yeah.
He's the host of it.
Yeah, and he hasn't played particularly well there lately, right?
No, when he was playing, there hadn't been anything that exciting. So,
Yeah.
I would not. I think that's a good number. I think
Tough
it's more
golf
likely.
course.
It's tough, yes.
Why would he start there?
Because it's hit, he's the host.
I know.
By the way, we're talking about the Genesis Invitational in California. If
This
you're
is
not
where he got in the
maybe
car accident.
Locked up on the schedule. Yes.
Is
it
this the same tournament?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So Tiger Woods is back, man. Hey, listen, no expectation on Tiger. Maybe we talk a little Tiger and a little golf a little bit later on.
It's got to be some expectation on him, no?
Nah. I'm cool with Tiger. I'm good. My life is complete with the Tiger Woods story.
So if he never makes the cut ever again in any other golf tournament?
I'm sure he'll be. Here's the deal. You're not going to feel it like that because Tiger's not going to play every week.
Okay.
And so he's going to play 12 events tops, and it's not like he's never going to make the cut.
Well,
again.
that's my point. He'll be in the cut, so he'll be in the he'll be a factor in some way or another.
Probably, but probably not a major. Not going in that you're going to be like, oh, watch out for him. I mean, he's not beating John Rahm right now, right? I mean, Rahm's ridiculous, and guys like that, Scotty Scheffler. So.
Yeah, Aaron, you missed this part of Brent's development as a person.
Yeah.
For a while there, he was not okay with the Tiger story and how it ended. But he has come around.
This is
and
Kasey,
it's okay.
25-year-old Kasey, who's just been with us for about 18 months. Kasey hasn't seen the whole development of the Tiger Woods Brent story for years and years to come around here, but or in the past.
You mentioned John Rahm. He is the
more
leader
like 20 months
in the clubhouse right now.
Is he?
Yeah, 600.
he's amazing right now, isn't
He's great.
he? I saw the stat. The Tiger Woods stats might be the most ridiculous stats relative to other players than anybody in the history of sports.
Like peak Tiger Woods or career Tiger Woods?
Just any Tiger Woods stat. So somebody tweeted out yesterday, through 94 career starts, Scotty Scheffler has 5 wins. And so he lists who else? So I don't know, Mickelson had 6 in that time frame. Somebody else had 5. Rory had 11. Okay? Tiger?
17.
20.
Oh, my God.
20.
So dominant. Don't you feel like anything that happens now is a disappointment based on where it was?
Well, that's the thing. Well, no, but see, here's the deal. Here's what I always say I think for people like Kasey. This is a big deal for sports fans everywhere, in my opinion, that you get to see LeBron and Tom Brady and all the rest, but he got a glimpse. He got a glimpse at Tiger. He doesn't remember Tiger even 07, probably. 07 was a really good year, I think, for Tiger. You probably remember 2013, actually. 13 was a good year for Tiger. Do you remember that one?
Not really.
Okay, so he doesn't remember good Tiger.
Here's
what I remember that everybody remembers when he won the Masters the last time.
Do you
Okay,
remember it, or
but-
just have you seen it a bunch?
No, but
I watched the whole
that
thing
was
from
just
start
in
to finish.
2019. But that's my point. He gave you that. He gave you the Tour Championship where everybody's
True.
coming up
That
which
did
is
happen.
almost, in my opinion, it's almost a greater moment than the Masters. I get why the Masters is bigger to most people, but that moment, that sea of people, that scene, straight out of if the Beatles were walking down the street, man. I mean, that's what that was. And for Ty and kids and even people your age at 25 years old, you hadn't seen that Tiger. You didn't feel that Tiger. And the way I describe that Tiger is even though we had social media in 2019 and maybe he won that other one in 2018, that would have made sense to me, I guess, the Tour Championship, because that was a season finale event there. And that was his first win since coming back. Tiger, even with today's technology and the way we communicate, it felt like when you were on the couch that day and he was about to win and you're watching in your living room, that it was the old school 1920s, Babe Ruth up at the bat and the newspaper boys running down the street saying, Babe Ruth's going to hit another home run. It's that kind of old school mentality where, if you came out of your house on Sunday afternoon, you had neighbors, you'd be like, hey, Tiger's about to win. You'd go back inside and go watch. That. It had that feel to it where everybody was knowing about it in a different kind of way.
Casey's grimacing.
Why?
Because he said Babe Ruth.
Oh, Babe Ruth.
Come on, compare him to somebody that's actually good.
Oh, my God.
But you get that's how they used to communicate. When something big was happening, hey, let's take a peek.
X tree. Read all about it.
But it had that feel to me, you didn't have to use your phone.
Did you say X-Tree?
18
Yeah,
and
it's the
19
1920s kids. Learn something, Case.
to communicate what Tiger Woods was doing during that stretch. And you got a glimpse of it. Now, the problem is you have to go back to YouTube and watch the great Tiger of 2000, 2001. I mean, that was different planet stuff. But at least you got a glimpse of the Beatles kind of version of Tiger where everybody was in awe of it.
Call.
And actually, by the time Tiger had come back to you guys here in 2018-19, everybody was rooting for him because it became a comeback story.
Yes.
Early
That
on,
is a good call.
in 2000, even people were like, who's this guy ruining golf?
Yeah.
Right? Or
It was very much a Ken Griffey Jr. situation, I think, in the beginning. For him.
probably. You didn't know whether, like, you were in awe of it.
Yep.
But you didn't know if you really wanted to rally around it. And then for the next probably 7, 8, 10 years, it became kind of this polarizing thing because it was Phil or Tiger rubbed you the wrong way. You didn't like him.
When you say Griffey, you mean like the backward hat swag type stuff?
like he got blowback, even though he's one of the best young generational guys that was in the game at the time. But for
Because he's
some
changing
reason,
golf courses.
right? But he just represented a new generation of player. I think it rubbed a lot of fans the wrong way.
I got you.
So it just these different maturations of Tiger Woods, and as it relates to sports fans, given your age, I think we got that. You don't get very many opportunities. Like, just think of a player. Like right now, it would be awesome if Kasey could watch Michael Jordan live. Now, he can go back and watch videos. That's fine. But if you could see it live and feel it, he can't do that. Tiger actually gave kids and younger people that opportunity for a little bit of a stretch. And so since he came back and did that, and then he got in the accident, like, I'm good with it. Like, I was almost good with it because Ty got to see that. He got to feel that. Like, he fell in love with Tiger Woods, the golfer, because of 18 and 19, not because of what he had done years prior, you know? And if I could go see and feel Jack Nicklaus, that's why I don't probably have as much reverence to it, and probably not even enough appreciation for it, even though I know how great he was. But I know because people have told me that, and books have said that, and shows have told me, and I've seen it. And I look up on whatever reference sheet on the web, and it says he's got 18 major championships, and he's the greatest, right?
Yep.
So the web's a good thing.
Very
He's calling you a
boomerish.
boomer.
Very boomerish. It's fine.
I don't know where this boomer stuff comes from all the time.
Let me give you guys.
You sounding as old as you possibly could.
Let
Get
me
off
give you
my
guys.
lawn.
Yeah, exactly.
go.
That's what I'm saying. I'll give you guys 3 Tiger stats. You tell me what the most impressive is as Tiger guys or not. All right. In the four major era, there are only 2 occasions where a player has won a major by 10 or more strokes. Both were Tiger Woods, 97 and 2000 U.S. Open.
Probably that.
Woods made a whopping 142 consecutive cuts on the PGA Tour.
Might be that.
And then from 97 to 2013, Woods was a combined 126 under par in majors.
Could be that.
Like those are just the top 3. Like, you could probably find a list of 20 of these things.
Man. I go with the cuts.
That streak began in 98. The previous streak was 113 by Byron Nelson. For context, you'd have to play every PGA Tour event and make the cut in all of them for about 4 years.
That's what it is, right? Like, everybody misses a cut here and there. Like, there's very few people, even if you're not playing a full schedule. Like, you see some of the best players right now playing 15 events a year. They're 13 for 15 or something. But to never not be locked in to the point where
automatic
you make it. And I'm sure if you go through all of those cuts, and again, just speculation, he probably at one time or another had to turn it on a Friday just to make the cut.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no doubt.
And how can you get up for that if you're the greatest? And it's like Friday in Topeka, Kansas. You're like, I could just go home.
My greatest appreciation for Tiger Woods is what he does when he's out of the tournament. Like, even on a Sunday when he's still grinding in the last 6 holes, and he'll slide up the leaderboard up to like
34th.
Like, if you go check his top 20s, where he was probably at some point in that tournament was like 70 something, and he climbed back up. Like, he didn't give up on a round. He didn't give up on a tournament. Like, he just kept grinding. I don't remember many that he's given up on. That's what I was really, as later Tiger got along, I appreciated that probably more than anything else. To answer your question, I think it is the cuts, though. I mean, to not have, now listen, you pick your schedule, so it's not like you're playing every week, and he played courses a lot that he liked and fit, and you can do a little bit of that too. But the bottom line is to have your game for that long in a game that we see, like, we'll see Jordan Spieth go nuts for a year and a half, and then he'll fall off the planet, right? I mean, it's just the way the game works. Like, you can't find yourself it just shows you how much better. You said, who had 113?
Byron Nelson.
So Byron Nelson, that was the next one?
Yeah.
I mean, just think, That's how much better that, and just that, and there's a million different things. Like, I think the 10 by the U.S. Open, because of the hard nature of the U.S. Open all the time, is unbelievable. But even we saw Phil and, was it Henrik Stenson, run away from the field at like the British Open. Now they were scoring like 22 under, so it wasn't as hard. But the bottom line is they ran away from the field. Like, it can happen. It did happen recently, even with Phil and Henrik Stenson, for whatever reason. So that was tremendous golf by those two guys. Yeah, those were tremendous. But that was, just think, when you're ahead of the field by 12 shots, I mean, how much better golf are you playing than everybody else, right? Yeah. And two guys did it. I thought that was incredible. But the Open did wow everybody, and well, really the one that got everybody
Speaking
was the
of
Masters,
the Open, Wood's largest winning victory was a 15-shot disparity, and he did it at the U.S. Open.
See, now that's just unfair.
It's just nuts. And, of course, listen, we know he's
What's
changed
crazy
the game.
is everybody else was actually trying.
Yeah, I know.
Ernie Els was second with 3 over, and
Hall of Famer,
Woods finished with 12 under.
Now, that is an underrated better part of the stat. Nobody else was under par, and my man's was 12 under.
Yeah.
I say this a lot about sports, guys, especially particular players. And I say, do we get fatigued of them? And so I don't think we're fatigued of Tiger Woods necessarily, but I almost feel like even the general public, and this might be me, when I say I'm satisfied with it if he never played golf again, I'm good as a Tiger fan and a sports fan watching it. I might be fatigued of the comeback. You know what I mean? Like, he's had to come back so many different times since 2008. And so much, like, I love watching Tiger play, man. And I was a believer that, and I was right for a lot of years that another place in town. Like, people argued that that he'd never win again. And I knew he'd win again and win a major again. Like, I felt like he would. And he's so talented. What people don't understand is just how talented he is. Now, he's also set up the next generation to be almost as talented, if not, probably not going to be as talented, but close to talent. And the depth of the field is so hard for him. But he's 50 years old or going on 50 years. No, he's 47 years old. He's still got plenty of time to sneak out another major. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if he won another major. I really wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
Because we see it all the time. We saw Tom Watson, lead after 54 holes at the age of 59.
I would actually be shocked if he won something other than a major.
He's also not your standard 47, 48-year-old guy.
Well, he isn't. You can argue that he's 78.
Well, certain parts of his body, maybe. Like his lower lumbar is 78. But the dude is still looking like he's bench pressing 600 pounds in the weight. It looks like him and Jalen Hurts go to the weight room together.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. But I'm cool with it. Like, if he never wins again, I feel like I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
And he's just not going to tee up a lot.
Right.
Like, you take the next 10 years, he probably tees it up. Let's be realistic about it. There's 4 majors a year. That would be 40 if he was fully healthy. He ain't doing that. He's probably going to tee it up in about 25 majors, and he'll probably tee it up in about
15 others.
I'd say a little more than that, in my opinion. I bet he plays. I'll take the over 50 more events that he plays in the next 10 years.
Over 50
events total.
I'll take you on that all day.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think by what year are we in? 2023.
Yeah.
So by 2000, Larry Bird, I think we will definitely have him.
You're the worst.
Over 50. But that doesn't. Well, how many is he going to win? He'll win a couple. I bet he wins a couple.
Maybe, yeah.
And he might win a major. Might get to Sweet 16 in the major.
There's no way he wins an event that's not a major.
Why do you say that?
He won't play in enough of them. Like, his best chance, he's going to play at Augusta every time. It's his best chance to win.
True, but he also, he's going to pick.
Like, okay, he's going to play Riviera.
If they ever went back to Firestone,
what happens when Liv and PGA decide to get rid of Greg Norman and they come together for one of those events? He'll play in that.
True.
Yeah, he might not win a full field event like you're saying, but I disagree with you. I just think he'll play 18 months of really, really good, strong golf at some point over the next 10 years. And if he plays strong golf over in an 18-month stretch, he's going to win.
Another factor which we're not considering is modern medicine and the fact that there's so much regenerative medicine these days. Peyton Manning actually was one of the guys who went and did this over in Europe, where they did the, blood spinning. Alex Rodriguez did this. Dana White did this.
Whoa.
And it does magical things. It's almost like a transfusion with yourself. But whatever they do by spinning the blood really awakens all the platelets and all kinds of other science stuff I don't understand, but it turns back the clock. Peyton Manning basically got the feeling back in his fingers and repaired his neck with this thing. Dana White was going deaf. He then restored his hearing with it. Alex Rodriguez helped heal from hip replacement surgery. So as that continues to progress and science gets better and better at it, I mean, you may see a 60-year-old Tiger looking just as good as he looked when he was 35.
That sounds dope, but also I don't think I'd want to be on the list of things that Alex Rodriguez did to his blood and use it as a success story.
Oh, I would.
With, like, the steroids.
Look how successful he was.
I know, but, like...
On or off the field.
Yeah. Dude's in his mid-40s, late 40s. Looks way better than I do.
He does look better than you do.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate that.
You're second to A-Rod. It's not bad.
Hey, I sent you guys a trailer for a golf reality show earlier today on Netflix. Do you guys think you're going to watch that? It looks pretty interesting.
It's like an 8-episode thing?
Yeah, so far, yeah. It's like a
There's a
limited
lot of conversation
reality
about it.
Does
You're probably seeing this, right?
I've seen, like, I haven't looked too much into it, to be honest with you, but what I'm confused about, I don't know if you know this, does everybody have their own episode? Because, like, the clips I've seen, like, JT's going back and forth with Jordan Spieth. So, like, I thought originally everyone was getting their own episode, but it looks more now like a, it's not, yeah, I guess like
I've
a
only seen
show.
the trailer. It came out literally on Wednesday. And the only reason I would watch it is if you guys watch it so we can discuss it here.
I'll watch it.
But it looks interesting, at least in the trailer.
Yeah, I hadn't heard a lot about it, but I saw a lot on this last couple of days, and obviously there's always mixed reviews. Some people absolutely loved it. Some people expected more.
It looks kind of bro-y, if you
They
ask me.
announced it a while ago.
They're
and
excited
they were
about it.
filming, but all the live stuff happened to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
so
all
they
documented in there.
Yes. It's actually like perfect timing.
Like Rory's in there talking smack and all this stuff.
Rory.
Oh,
I saw that again.
It's everybody that's like JT, Jordan, Rory, all the big names are in it.
Are you guys surprised that hasn't been squashed a little bit? Like, Rory's still not afraid to go at people right now. I thought he'd kind of let it go. In fact, he's almost like talked publicly like, I got to let it go. I'm going to let it go. And then, boom, he throws another jab in. But, I mean, it's kind of fun. I think it's kind of fun because I'm on, like, Rory and
well, yeah,
PGA
golf
Tour
is really
side,
the
but-
only player beefs you've enjoyed so far.
Yeah.
True.
Because you don't like the basketball or the football beefs.
I think some of the other stuff's petty. This is probably petty, but this has actually more. I think this has more reality to it, like impacting lives and their lives and how they see the sport more than like these other beef. Like the Juju Smith-Schuster beef isn't going to impact the sport.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
You know, the beef here is like a legitimate. Where's the sport going? Like, what's it going to look like in a decade? And Rory McIlroy is a key figure, and obviously Phil Mickelson's been a big name in it, and other guys. So I think that part is interesting.
Also, Colby Grant just put in the chat, the next Netflix golf is sick. Just wait till y'all see Ian Poulter, which I remember there was something with that.
Is there Ian Poulter beef?
There's definitely Ian Poulter beef.
Drama. Yeah.
So
Poulter, when he's not playing the Ryder Cup is fantastic. Like, I hate him in the Ryder Cup. Hate him.
Oh, okay.
You know, because he's that guy.
Yeah.
But he's actually one of the great personalities. Is he on Live now, too?
Yeah.
Yes, we don't like him anymore.
Great autograph, by the way.
Is he?
The eye he turns into a golf flag.
Nah, he really is.
It's pretty cool.
That's good. He can be fun. So
It's a cute
maybe
little
we'll
autograph.
watch this thing
He does.
as we get around toward Players Week.
Yeah.
How about
It'd be
that?
fun, sure.
All right.
We just need Netflix accounts because I heard they're cracking down on the password thing.
Listen, there was a lot of blowback. Netflix, slow down with it.
So you think we can still get this
I
in?
still think you're good.
Okay. Cool.
As long as they're not listening.
I still think you're good.
All right, let's take a break. We talk some football. What's going on? Jim Bob Cooter is getting a ton of interviews this offseason. The latest one comes from an AFC South rival, apparently. What does it mean? Does it matter? Is he going to be in Jacksonville? Does that matter? Let's talk a little bit about it when we get back. We'll talk some Jags and NFL on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny and warm today. A little bit breezy at times, but temperatures near record highs in the mid-80s. Partly to mostly cloudy and mild tonight, just dropping to 60 to 65. And your Friday will have a mix of clouds and sun, breezy and warm, and then a period of late-day showers, so have an umbrella nearby with highs near 80 degrees. I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, proud to offer a huge selection of both lab-grown and natural diamonds at the lowest prices guaranteed.
Injured on the job? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Glenn Levine, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Jacksonville. Hubbard House is the domestic violence center that serves Duval and Baker counties with free, confidential resources. The 24-hour hotline is 904-354-3114.
Jason Aldean. Highway Desperado Tour 2023. Friday, August 25th, Five-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. With Mitchell Tenpenny and Corey Kent. Jason Aldean. Presented by Wolf Moon Bourbon. On sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Rich Jones here. If you're an investor who's interested in doing well while doing good, getting solid returns on your investments while making a positive impact, consider investment funds with DLP Capital. Here's Don Wenner, CEO of DLP Real Estate Capital, to tell you more.
With the current housing shortage in the U.S., investing in real estate, especially workforce housing, is one of the safest and most reliable places to invest. We invest in affordable housing for hardworking people and generate amazing returns for each of our investors.
To get your investor's guide and find out more, dial ** Invest from your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
The Beaches Green Market is a great place for families, friends, and pets to shop and eat local. Come to the Beaches Green Market this and every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Penman Park on Penman Road, just north of Beach Boulevard, for fresh local fruits and vegetables, plants, meats, eggs, baked goods, honey, wellness products, ready-to-eat snacks and drinks, and local artist craft goods. If you have an EBT card, stock up on free fruits and vegetables and edible plants. The Beaches Green Market, connecting people to better food. Go to diglocal.org to learn more.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Dave Benyon with Zero Res. It may be cold outside, but at Zero Res, we are heating things up. Right now is the hottest price of the year. 3 rooms of carpet clean for $147, and the 4th room is free. That's right, the 4th room is on me. In 2022, Jacksonville Zero Res was named #1 in the country for customer service. Google Zero Res and read from over 5,000 5-star customer reviews. Remember, February is the hottest price of the year. 3 rooms of carpet clean for $147, and the 4th room is free. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Attention Dish customers. Dish Network dropped WFOX Fox 30, depriving you of your favorite programs, local news, weather, and sports. Call Dish now at 1-800-333-3474 and tell them to put WFOX Fox 30 back on the air. Don't let Dish keep you from the important news, sports, and entertainment programming you love. Call Dish now at 1-800-333-3474 and then switch to another TV provider.
It's time for Speed Weeks at Daytona. ESPN 690 has your chance at tickets, and one lucky winner gets tickets to the Daytona 500 on February 19th. Play our Daytona trivia game on ESPN690.com. Answer correctly, and you could win. Purchase your tickets today by calling 1-800-PIT-SHOP.
All right, so what do you think? Jim Bob Cooter, out of all the Jags coaching staff members, getting the most looks? OC's a coveted spot, I get it. Sure. And even if you look back at the Jags this past year, not this past year, 2 years ago with Urban Meyer, those guys have found new homes, right? The Brian Schottenheimers of the world. Who else? Who else went down to Miami?
Darrell Bevel.
Bevel. Where's he now? Do you know? Didn't he get a gig?
No, he said
I think he stayed.
He turned down, I think, the Jets.
The Jits.
That's right. So the Jets were looking at him.
Yep.
You mean the Jits?
And even Nathaniel Hackett, who I know does go from coaching to OC, but it lands in potentially on a good team, depending on the situation that happens.
Sure.
Has rebounded nicely. So why Jim Bob Cooter? I know he has experience here, and if you go all the way back to his Detroit Lions days, has experience with Matthew Stafford. And when he was there, he was getting looks for head coach coming out of one of the seasons. I can't remember which one. And I even think the Jags, I say this and I never confirm it, but I believe the Jags were interested in him. I don't know if they interviewed him probably right around the time when Marrone got hired. So it would have been right in time for the 2017 season. I'm pretty sure he was on their interview list or at least their request list. And how far it got, I really don't remember or know. But so he's been around it. He's passing game coordinator.
The passing
instead
game
of
pretty,
OC.
It's pretty dope. I mean,
And I get it. And now Indianapolis wants to take a peek. So is this more people just doing their due diligence? Is he coveted? And especially when it comes to Indy, are they prying for information about our Jaguars here?
I'm going to go with that last option, especially because Indy has done roughly 472 interviews this offseason.
Yes, they have.
So, do you really need to interview another guy? Are you sure about that?
I mean,
interestingly enough, it's the Jaguars.
We have one of the best security teams inside that building, and they've interviewed them this offseason. What do you think, Kasey? Why?
I think it makes sense. I mean, listen, you got to have an extensive search, as we found out, but you also have a guy who, in Trevor Lawrence, the rookie year was awful. And then this year, yes, Doug Peterson, massive part of that, Press Taylor, everybody involved, sure. But you have part of the reason that Trevor Lawrence became the guy that we all thought he was going to be. So I would at least want to spin the tires on that, see how that happened, how much does he say he was involved there, and we're about to draft a young quarterback if you're the Indianapolis Colts. So you have a guy that just did it, just brought it to his best form. I get it. It makes sense. Now, the Jags part of it is, a little suspicious. Maybe they're trying to pry for some information, but, I mean, you got a team that did well with a good young quarterback. I get it. You interview everybody in that scenario.
You don't need Jim Bob Cooter to find out the secret sauce, Indianapolis. Just don't have a quarterback who's 400 years old under center, and you should be all right.
Yeah, what's interesting about Jim Bob Cooter, he's a young guy. He's only 38 years old. My eyes are right. Yeah, I think he's 38. Be 39 coming up in July. So, but he's been around a bit. He's with Tennessee. If you go all the way back from a college level, Indianapolis, he was with them. So he has a history going all the way back to 2009 to 11 as an offensive assistant.
Yeah.
And then he was with the Chiefs and the Broncos and the Lions, the Jets, your Jets, Eagles, and now the Jags. And in those, he was a consultant with the Eagles. He was a running backs coach with your Jets.
There it is.
He was the OC with the Lions for those couple of years. Again, where I thought he was starting to get.
You just said it. Consultant with the Eagles. Steichen was with the Eagles.
Well, yeah, there's the and
Were
I
they
think
together
I saw
at the
that.
same time?
Yeah,
I saw that in the
21,
report. Yeah, so they have a relationship.
That's it. He likes
Why
him.
has it always been this way? It feels like every hire now over the last year or two, it's like I had to have worked with you for a year or two at some other location.
Well, here's the deal. This is the ultimate. I think this is, maybe it's like this in all sports, and I know this is like this in a lot of life. I get it. Everybody says who you know, but the NFL really is like that. I mean, the NFL is a tree-driven, connectivity-driven hire process, and that's why they've had to step in and make different rules for hiring, because they don't do it. Like, they just go get the guy that failed 14 times. And by the way, this is not related to Jim Bob Cooter. I'm just saying, you'll recycle the guy that failed in 4 other spots before you go find the fresh blood in the NFL. It's a weird deal. Like, it's odd, but I guess if there's so much on the line, you go with what you know rather than the unknown. And then listen, we've seen coaches be good in scenarios outside of, say, Jacksonville when it was bad. It doesn't make you a bad coach because you were part of a bad year in Jacksonville, and so you can go thrive somewhere else. We've seen just the opposite. I mean, look, Hackett was great in Green Bay because he was in a really good situation after being good in Jacksonville. He got fired in Jacksonville, and he tries to be a head coach. It just doesn't work out. So it's a weird thing in the NFL. It is what it is, though. Like, it's fact. I mean, you're going to go get I wouldn't say your buddies. I'm not saying you vacation with these guys, but you're definitely going to get people that you know
it's professional
or have a familiarity
trust,
with, right?
You trust the guy because you've worked with them and you know what they're capable of.
Which I guess we all would do if we're going to start something.
Yeah,
Wouldn't the first few calls you'd be to people that you know can fit in X spot?
Not if there's someone I've been looking at going, man, I wish I got to work with that guy.
There's a balance. You have a big staff. I'm saying if you're going to hire 20 people to this new business venture we're doing, and you're kind of in this same industry, well, aren't I going to take some people, or at least inquire about some people maybe in the building that I've worked with in the past or are working currently? And then I'm also going to find new blood that hopefully is more talented than some of the other folks that you would hire. So I guess it's just logic.
I do think it's more polarized than that. Yes, I agree. A lot of times they'll take a chance on a 7th-time retread than a new blood in the NFL, but often they'll take weird chances on new blood instead of these middle-of-the-road guys. I think it's like both ends of the spectrum. It's either someone who's been an offensive coordinator for 12 different teams or someone who last coached high school football is now the offensive coordinator for a team, and
Talking
no one
Jeff?
in the middle.
Talking Saturday?
Yeah, but like there are a few of these guys, right? Maybe not head coaches,
Right,
but
I
like
get you.
offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators getting their first shot, being 27 out of the college ranks or something like that. It's like, wait, what?
Hey, Brent, let me give you this real quick, and it's a good point. And Sawyer brings it up on Twitch. Couldn't the Jags have blocked it? Because it's a lateral move.
Didn't they already block Press Taylor? Isn't there a limit to that or no?
I don't think there's a limit to blocking. Actually, that's a good question. I don't think there is a limit to blocking. But that's nice when you have to use your roadblock everywhere. The difference is they can't block. I think passing game coordinator to OC, right? Would be you can't block that.
Because it's not lateral.
In Press Taylor's situation, I think the Ravens were interested, and
OC
they blocked
OC,
that to OC to OC. So there you can do it. But you can't halt people's promotion and elevation in the industry. So, and that's why Jim Bob Cooter's probably getting a lot of looks. Again, this is not, I'm just curious. Jim Bob Cooter is getting a bunch of looks. This shows you Doug Peterson, what they were able to do. All the things you guys said is exactly right. This also shows you a little bit of relationship. He's got a relationship actually probably with some people still in the Indy building because it goes back all the way to like 2009, 10, 11. I'm sure there are some scouts and others, and obviously Irsay probably knew who he was a little bit. He was like an offensive assistant. He probably didn't know him that well at the time. But he was there a couple years. And I would suspect, wouldn't Manning have still been there during that time too? So maybe Manning's giving some advice like, hey, this guy would be pretty good. And with the Detroit days, it was Matthew Stafford. Listen, the resume says, like, I get it. I think it's a little bit of everything. And I do think, why not, if you're the Indianapolis Colts, to the scenario we were talking about yesterday of why not go pick his brain and see how they did it and what they're doing and what his views are. Yeah. Maybe we get a little bit of inside info, even if it's one little nugget on the Jacksonville Jaguars going forward. Some intel.
Sure. Yeah, smart move by them, sure.
So when you interview with like Tampa, Carolina, I think it was. I don't know if Baltimore was on this list or the Jets or something, but it feels like there's been 3 or 4 of them. Is he going to move? We have no idea. Just a gut check here. Does this one make sense? Steichen. Keep in mind now, Shane Steichen, he's in a position where you got to go put together a staff. First of all, you're late. You're very late in the game. And you didn't know you were going to get the job. So this is a little different than Doug Peterson. So Doug Peterson's late in the game last year, puts together a staff. Well, he could be making calls like all last year, like, hey, who are we going to get? What am I thinking about? Steichen, who's obviously wants the job, he probably knows he's got to put something together, but who's available? Like, who's there to get?
Right.
You can't just go pick somebody off because they might get blocked on a lateral move type of standpoint if you wanted Press Taylor, really. And so I would say there's a very good chance that Jim Bob Cooter gets that gig if Steichen's bringing him in, has a relationship prior, and he's done the job before. And he's done it pretty well in Detroit.
Yes and no. Will he get offered the job? I mean, it's certainly possible. Would you go, though?
Absolutely.
Would you, though? Because one more good year in Jacksonville.
I agree with that, Kasey, that sentiment. But the thing that sits with me now in the one more year thing.
The Byron Leftwich
is Byron Leftwich.
Yeah.
I mean, Byron Leftwich, this close. I always say this about Cliff Warren. He was a basketball coach at JU when I first got here. And they had 2 years in a row. I think they played East Tennessee State, who was in the A-Sun at the time, and they were in the championship game. And now Cliff, we knew a little bit from his Siena days where I was in Albany. And he was doing a great job at JU. They had him in the championship game. They didn't win either year. If he had won, he was gone. Like, he was gone to go to X job at the next level, get that bump. Well, it's probably a life-changing kind of bump in terms of the salary you're going to make and everything else. He couldn't win that game. 3 years later, he got fired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think you wait around on this stuff.
But, I mean, that's fair. But also, I think you look at the Colts and you look at what you're going to have there, and there's some appeal to molding the rookie quarterback. I get it. But where is it more likely to go bad as currently constructed? Rookie quarterback and rookie coach, or Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson?
Let me say one more thing then. If I'm like sitting in the house and making a decision with Jim Bob Cooter on this front, listen, you're getting a couple of years at the very least.
On the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like very, very minimal chance, unless it's your own doing or something outside the lines, that you're not going to be there next year as the OC.
You don't think,
you know what I mean?
If the Colts trade up to get Bryce, like Jim Irsay is hinting at, and he has a disastrous season for whatever reason, not injury, just bad.
I mean,
he could take the blame for that.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
it could run into like a Hackett kind of deal.
But I'm with you. I think it's like a 2-year minimum. I think they'll give him 2 years to figure it out with a new quarterback.
Usually, and I would think that's a great situation to go. Like, wouldn't you want to go to that situation where you could have this young quarterback you build around, you kind of can shape it your own? It's not a blank canvas, but a canvas with some players that you add to it.
But you also have the head coach is thinking the exact same thing because he's a young offensive head coach.
That's true.
And I think you know what you got here with Trevor Lawrence. You think it can get better. And currently, if you look around, you're the only one that might be leaving if you're Jim Bob Cooter. So, they might all get to continue on this success in Jacksonville, and you might have to watch from Indianapolis, which you're going to have to play 2 times a year. So I get it. It's a good move. But I think you're watching the success from the outside. You're going to feel like SpongeBob when he got shipped over to the chum bucket. He had to watch from the window, dog. It just wasn't great for him.
Another point to your point, Casey, is
Which one,
that
the SpongeBob one?
No, definitely not. You'll never find me making a SpongeBob point.
Thank you.
Press Taylor was blocked from interviews, but I mean, how long is that going to go on for?
Right.
So if you're Jim Bob, you're
Probably
all right, you might have a job opening here within the next year or two.
Yeah, and this is interesting. When we talked about this with Press Taylor, I argued that my guess was when he put the staff together, meaning Doug Peterson, that he said to those guys, listen, we need to build this thing. We need to get a couple years cooking. We need to grow around Trevor Lawrence. We know that year 1 to year 2 is huge. I'm not sure he said, like, in my opinion, on the totem pole, and not everybody does it this way, but it's Doug, it's Press Taylor, it's Mike McCoy, the QB coach, and then it's Jim Bob Cooter, the passing game coordinator. So if that is the case, then I would say he might not have been tied to that. If he gets an opportunity, you can go. And I think Doug would be willing to go. One other point about what you just said, if he does turn it down and he has the opportunity because he wants to stay here in Jacksonville with Doug, with this coaching staff, with the continuity and Trevor Lawrence, that tells you a lot what's going on in Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's some
in
low
a good
guy
way.
on the totem pole is like, I ain't leaving either. Yeah.
Yeah. So I also think it shows you this. One other thing, and worth repeating, and I know we said it, but I don't know if we say it enough sometimes when it's right there in front of your face. And we can't assume everybody is talking like this because there's so many different elements of the Jacksonville Jaguars right now that we're talking in a good way about that it's hard to digest it all. Like, this doesn't usually happen around here. But that dude put together a hell of a staff. And that dude is Doug Peterson. I mean, it's a hell of a staff when the Ravens are calling for your OC. Mike McCoy already knows his thing. He's done it before at head coaching level, OC level. He's done a great job with him. And then you got Jim Bob Cooter, who's getting interviews all over the place, and people want him. That is a hell of a staff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we can – I think we got to keep bringing that up. Doug Peterson has really put together staff. And we think Phil Rauscher did a fantastic job. They just made it official today, by the way, that Chad Hall comes over at the wide receiver position from Buffalo.
Yep.
And that was a good move when they brought in Farwell from Buffalo in the special teams. He did a terrific job.
Yeah, so I guess that's my question. Are you as happy with special teams and the defensive staff as you are with the offensive staff?
Well, I would say I'm more happy with the offensive staff just because look what they did. I was happy with the special team staff because I would say, look what they did.
Yeah.
And I would say, if you ask this question in December, like December 5th, when we were firing Mike Caldwell after the Detroit Lions game, what he did since then, I think
was great.
Is really good.
But it remains the biggest question mark. Was that a streak or was that the real team?
That was a 2-month streak now. Or a good 7-week streak. And here's the thing that I liked about it more than anything else. Sure, he got them playing well. They had already had some really good moments in the turnover game. And I think that is a little bit of a luck thing, less than a coaching thing, because every coach
that was streaky
preaches turnovers.
Yeah.
What I like about him is he did something that I don't think a lot of coaches would be willing to do. And he ripped it up and said, not the whole thing,
right.
But he ripped it up and tried
you put your
things.
hand in the dirt, you go to the outside, all that.
Yeah, and I don't think guys are willing to do that. And do keep this in mind. When they lost Shaq Griffin and they couldn't find the corner for a while, now we could criticize it. They took too long to move Darius Williams out. Fair enough.
I don't even think that's a real criticism.
But you got away from what he was trying to do. We had Rasheed Mathis on a bunch. We got away from what Mike Caldwell's defense was supposed to be, built out of this man-to-man defense that you could play and then go from there. They couldn't really do it. They had to alter a lot of different things and not play the way he wanted to. So he was on the fly, I think, all season as a first-time DC. To me, it shows a lot that he's going to be pretty damn good at this gig. and they need some more pieces, and they got to figure it out. Because I'm not really sure we saw it run the way that Mike Caldwell even wants to run it, and they were still effective defensively. In fact, they got him to the postseason with a hell of a play and a big win, and that was his call now. That was another thing that goes under the radar. We don't talk about this stuff much, but it was later revealed that week that he thought they were about to run that play in Tennessee, and he called the right play on defense to make that play, help make that play happen before Rayshon and Josh scoop and score.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you go back and look at these big plays, and we know that's one of the biggest plays in franchise history, if you want to just do a 10-minute deal on that play, I think it will come out that Mike Caldwell's call on that play was part of the equation and a significant part of the equation. So, yeah, man, their coaching staff, I can't knock any of it. I think their coaching staff right now is freaking awesome.
I think they think so too, because they're not doing anything to change it.
Yeah, and I do like that. The continuity around here, which we just have not had anything like it since I've been in town. Yeah. And now you see that on just about all sides of the ball, it looks like, is a fantastic part of it going forward. It's why many people have the Jags as a big-time contender in 2023. We take a break. Brent and Friends on ESPN 690. If you missed a big home run last night, you might hear it coming up next.
Brent and Friends is sponsored by Best Bet, now open in St. Augustine.
Start the new year off with worry-free water. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. The experts at CGC Water Treatment will test your water for free and provide solutions that are right for you and your family, like they've done for my family for over 5 years. Imagine having clean, clear, purified water at your home. No more plastic bottles, no more waste, just great tasting, purified water that you can trust. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment. Your authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Attention Dish customers. Dish Network dropped WFOX Fox 30, depriving you of your favorite programs, local news, weather, and sports. Call Dish now at 1-800-333-3474 and tell them to put WFOX Fox 30 back on the air. Don't let Dish keep you from the important news, sports, and entertainment programming you love. Call Dish now at 1-800-333-3474 and then switch to another TV provider.
Jacksonville is a great place to live. And if you love where you live, you should invest in it. That's why more and more people bank with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. We invest every penny back into North Florida, backing the very best small businesses, nonprofits, and of course the family home. Why put your money with some big out-of-state bank when you can invest in where you love to live? One-to-One Financial. We're your hometown credit union. Sign up today at one-to-one-fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hi, I'm Lori Ann Whittington, CEO of Pine Castle. We are so grateful to the Players Championship for supporting our mission of empowering individuals with intellectual and developmental differences. It's 19 days until the Players.
Still overpaying for a razor? In this economy? Gross. At Dollar Shave Club, you can get a top shelf shave at a regular shelf price. We've been hawking shaving products for years online, and we're excited to bring you the same great quality and low prices at a store near you. From high-quality stainless steel blades to super smooth shave creams, Dollar Shave Club's in the business of making your shave easier. Find Dollar Shave Club in the men's razor aisle. Getting your Dollar Shave Club razor wherever you want. Isn't that great?
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone, America's #1 brakes destination. We have the pads, rotors, drums, shoes, and brake fluids to improve your stopping power. Right now, save 15% when you get any 2 Duralast rotors with a set of Duralast brake pads. Missing a tool? Ask about our free Loan-A-Tool program and borrow the tools you need to get the job done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the MPD Group 2021. Deposit required for Loan-A-Tool.
Touch a Truck is back. Join us February 25th at 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. with fire trucks, food trucks, police cars, and more. All at Brooks Family YMCA off Centurion Parkway. For more info, visit ESPN690.com and follow us on Facebook at Touch a Truck Jacks.
Stuart Weber just brought up some chocolate peanut butter brownies.
Nice.
Dude doesn't know I'm on a diet.
I was going to say that's health food.
Is it his birthday?
Nah, his birthday's in June.
Is it?
It's pretty impressive. Maybe I'll go hand it to Jim. I heard it's Jim's birthday.
It is.
I knew it was somebody's birthday.
Our guy, Jim Gracie. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Jim.
Boogieing up and down the hallway, that Jimmy is. Come on.
I always wanted to do it. I think we should do on the show like a shout out to people's birthdays.
Okay.
That'd be good.
Is
Just have
that where
people
we
send
are
them
as
in.
a show, though?
No, why not? People like their birthdays.
Man's name is on the show. You do what the man wants.
That's fair. Whose birthday are we shouting out next?
We got a couple. I get the list every day. I gotta make the
you
graphic.
got so excited when 3 people said they liked your SpongeBob reference.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You don't think people get excited if they hear happy birthday on the show?
Shout out to Sawyer YB and my man Christian Kirker listening in the 941. I told you we're big.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk is listening in the 941.
Christian Kirker.
Kirker.
Actually, I never put that together. How great is that?
You never put that together.
Nope.
Wow. What
Casey's like, I got a friend named Aaron Schachterbaum. I never put 1 and 2 together.
Yeah, it's about that. It's pretty darn close.
My bad, guys.
Man pays attention to detail, Brent.
One of the secrets to life right there.
Oh,
Brent
yeah.
Martineau, Aaron Schachterbaum, and Christian Kirker, a.k.a. Casey Kurtz, here today on a Thursday on ESPN.
Wait, do you not think Christian's real?
690. No,
Christian Kirker? There's no way that guy is real.
No, you've told me his name before, so I know he's real.
He's real.
Yeah.
He's definitely real.
No, he's not.
He's
Christian Kirker hangs out with your high school girlfriend from band camp and Dan Linguini at the airport.
Those people are real.
Yeah, right.
By the way, Linguini
is real.
He said he was going to. It's another thing at the Super Bowl.
He didn't get Linguini.
No, he said he's definitely there. We'll meet him.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't.
Was not there.
Tell Dan to do his job
Yeah,
better.
Dan Linguini giving up on the hole, not like Tiger.
This is awful.
Hey, last night we called the Bartram Trail St. John's Country Day game, and Kyle Boylston with a home run. Want to take a listen to the call, and you can judge it, Aaron?
I thought it was a great call last night. Let's hear it.
Oh. Welcome back to the bottom of the second. Logan Hartman still out there for another inning of work for Bartram Trail. And doesn't always work like this. Kyle Boylston comes to the plate, sends one deep toward the scoreboard, and that is gone. A home run for Kyle Boylston after making a heck of a play out in center field. He launches one into the left center field night for a home run here on a Wednesday night.
Man, you make a play in center, and then first pitch, you're sitting on the heater. Left center, see you later, Souvenir City. Look at
That was
that.
a beautiful swing by Kyle. Made sure he went back and touched home
make sure
plate
you got
just
it
in
there.
case he didn't get there. I wasn't looking, Kyle. Don't worry. I thought you touched home plate.
A couple of notes here, guys.
Did he touch home plate, by the way? Did you go back and look?
He did. He went back and touched
No,
it.
I know, but did he initially?
No, I don't think he did.
I didn't know.
Yeah, I think he might have missed it.
Yeah, I had to double check.
The ping is awesome. I know a lot of people hate the ping of the aluminum bat.
I like it.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
great. It really reminds me of Little League.
I think there was a
It's so
kid,
much
by
fun.
the way, in the Columbia Oakleaf game earlier actually used wood.
Is that
In the
allowed?
preseason
I didn't know
game.
that was allowed.
I mean, either that or it's one of those aluminum bats that look
they
like
have
it's wood, right?
They have BB core wood.
Yeah, so he might have.
You can.
Who was in the booth having a conversation with the broadcasters?
I know. They did that too.
I was
There
sitting
were
here going,
several times.
shut up. Sorry.
That was my man Spence.
Yeah, he got really excited. He was very excited to let you guys know. Brent, I thought you were good on the call, despite saying left center twice in the same sentence.
Oh.
It's fine. You get -2 points for that. And then Case, you had, I thought, the best part of the call, but it seemed like you started to bail a little bit on it.
You know, I didn't even realize I was bailing on it. I just was talking and realized maybe I was talking too long. I had to get Brett back on the mic.
You just make sure you keep that energy up.
You're
know?
right. You're
I
right.
think I think you guys need to hear how it should have been called. Luckily enough, I went into a production studio with my play-by-play partner, and we did the call too. Case, why don't you go ahead and play that?
And welcome back to St. John's Country Day for the bottom of the second inning. Traditionally, this is the inning where Brent and Casey eat food on the mic, so me and Frank have taken over for them here in the booth. You're welcome. Sauntering up to the plate, Kyle Boylston, the Spartan Slugger, the baby blue bomber, as the kids call him. Logan Hartman still on the hill throwing pills for the BTB. Can somebody tell the left fielder hibernation season is over? All right, thanks. Oh my, that ball is mushed. Back. She gone.
Oh, wow. How good is that?
Good one, Frank. Somebody draw this guy another oatmeal bath. Kyle Boylston, touch them all. The bases, that is. It's a 4-bagger, a quad hopper, a big daddy donger from the young man. And with that moonshot, don't forget we'll be giving away a pallet of Brent Friends room temperature water to really jazz up any of your festivities you'll be throwing this baseball season. Brent Friends room temp water. When life starts to heat up, get back to room temp with Brent Friends water.
Natural sound, by the way, under that call by me and Frank. Thanks, buddy. Always appreciate when they let Frank out of the home to help me in the booth. Now his grandkids can take him home. Sorry, guys. For those of you listening and not realizing why we're laughing, I think I've turned the radio show upside down.
Can we go to commercial?
Yeah. Oh, we're close enough.
Sorry. Man.
All right, so I think you guys like the call.
Yeah, it was most of it. I don't know about the other parts of it. Somewhere in here, I'm going to get in trouble.
Maybe. I hope so.
The work that went into that is what I can probably appreciate the most.
You have no idea how many real priorities I put aside just so I can scream into a microphone in the production office.
We'll be back. 4 o'clock hour coming up. Maybe. Brent and Friends got to go get some room temperature water.
Oh, yeah.
A tune-up by Wake Off's Cooling and Heating will extend the life of your air conditioning system, avoid costly repairs, and lower costs to keep your home comfortable. Wake Off's will perform a multi-point seasonal system tune-up and inspection for just $59 as soon as today. Plus, every Wake Off's tune-up is backed by their industry-leading no-breakdown guarantee. Call 904-204-3214 or book at wakeoffeasybook.com.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Jason Aldean. Highway Desperado Tour 2023. Friday, August 25th, Five-Star Veterans Memorial Arena. With Mitchell Tenpenny and Corey Kent. Jason Aldean. Presented by Wolf Moon Bourbon. On sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Meet Mike Lester.
Even if you're down right now, we should be having a conversation about investments that will do well in a recession, that will do well in a bad economy. We shouldn't be talking about hanging in there. And Kristen, the number one call we get week after week is my advisor or my firm has been telling me to hang in there. And that strategy has now lost me 20+% in the market.
Find out more at guardingyournestegg.com.
Allen Private Wealth, LLC. Investing in stock markets involves the risk of loss, and there is no guarantee that all or any capital invested will be repaid. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number? Not me. Nope. Nuh-uh. Oh no. He's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
The Jeep Wrangler 4xE. It's electrified. So you can boogie woogie woogie up a mountain, over creeks, Or boogie woogie woogie through a desert where you get bit by a pit viper. So you boogie woogie woogie back to camp and ask your friends if they'll suck the snake venom out. When they say no, you boogie woogie woogie to the nearest hospital for a dose of anti-venom and boogie woogie woogie your way to a full recovery. The electrified Jeep Wrangler 4xe. Learn more at Jeep.com. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Every weeknight at 6 p.m., it's Overtime with Kurtz in Middleton, and check us out right here on ESPN 690.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Tiger Woods is 1 under par after 3 holes in the opening round of the Genesis Invitational. Live coverage right now on ESPN+. Now that quarterback Derek Carr is a free agent, where should he sign? ESPN's Booger McFarland.
I think maybe the best spot for him might be Carolina. It's a very, very winnable division. Every team in the division is going to be replacing quarterbacks. I think the city of Charlotte fits his personality a little bit more.
Booger McFarland on Fitz and Harry. Michigan State teams will play this weekend, just days after an on-campus shooting that killed 3 students and wounded 5 others. The women's basketball team will host Maryland in East Lansing, and the men's team plays at Michigan, both games on Saturday. Carlos Beltran rejoins the Mets, this time as a special assistant to GM Billy Epler. Beltran was hired as the Mets manager in November of 2019, but never managed a game after he was identified as part of the Astros sign-stealing scandal on their way to the 2017 World Series title.
If you want to find quality new hires in the new year, post on Indeed. When you sponsor a post, you'll get matched instantly with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
We're going to have to show a little more patience than the year 2 pom-pom people.
Kasey Kurtz.
Yo! But what are we doing, bro? Come on!
And Aaron Schachter.
I'm all in favor of these two showing their love, really celebrating their relationship.
Get him! Get him! Get him! Hit him! Hit him! Yeah! Boom! Jack! Boom! Yeah! Boom! Jack! Boom!
This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Kasey Kurtz, and Aaron Schachter on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
Here we go, 4 o'clock hour. How about that Thursday, huh? You sound like you're still recovering.
Here we go. Here we go, 4 o'clock hour is what I meant to say. Brent Martineau, Kasey Kurtz, Aaron Schachter. Having some fun here on a Thursday, apparently.
Come on.
Hope you're having a heck of a week. It's incredible Thursday energy. I don't know if there is such a thing, but we've got it. Action Sports Shacks team down in Daytona once again. Got the duels tonight. Did you know today is the 25th anniversary of Dale Earnhardt winning the Daytona 500?
Wow.
It's a really cool thing, actually, again, for kids like Kasey, who might not have seen. There was like a 10-minute NASCAR, Bob Pockrass, I think is how you say his name. He covers NASCAR and for Fox. And so on their Twitter handle, they did this whole thing about what you might not have remembered or what you might not have known. It's fascinating, whether you like NASCAR or not, Daytona 500 or not, just sports, and how big that was for Earnhardt. And I think many people know that, but pretty wild that it was 25 years ago, the moment, and how unique it was, even the celebration and everything else. So if you get, it's a 10-minute thing, but it's worth your time if you get a chance to see it. And Action Sports Shacks down in Daytona tonight for the duels, which I always will say that if you like to go to one day of Daytona 500 week, especially if it's not the 500, you got to go to the 500 as a bucket list thing if you haven't been. But that's a longer day, and sometimes it goes into 2 days. Mm-hmm. The duels are perfect because it's less racing.
They used to be 24 hours, though.
No, they got 24 Lex 24.
Yeah.
But this is just an evening race under the lights, which is also very cool, much like the trucks race will be tomorrow. but it's not like you don't have to be there for 12 hours either.
Yeah.
You get to experience it all in like a half a day compared to probably the Daytona 500.
Speed Weeks is just a fun vacation for any race fan, right? You just do a whole couple of days worth of races, have a great time. You got the Arca Menards on the 18th, and then obviously the 500 on the 19th.
You know, I always say this, that we're going to go down there and have an RV and in the infield, and I've been doing this for 15 years. It's never happened, so I'm convinced it's just not going to happen. Unless it's one of those deals. I think Daytona would be one of those cool things that when I get out of this business to go just experience it like a fan for a few days. Like I think we say that a little bit about Florida-Georgia game in Jacksonville, or there's other events like that. But maybe the Players' Championship, that's another one that would be fun to do. But I think Daytona 500 is like that.
I imagine the Super Bowl is not fun.
No.
As a fan. It wasn't fun for me.
No, like the best thing about – here's what's your take on it, Kasey. The best thing for a fan going to the Super Bowl is, I think, to go to the week, kind of the way I did. I came back on Saturday. And now, again, if you haven't been to the Super Bowl, you want to say you're gone to the Super Bowl, like all those things. That's
the
true.
game, fine to say you went, but
and really what I think I noticed, Kasey, is it got busier on like Thursday and especially Friday in Phoenix. Now, there's a big party going on in Scottsdale, too, because they've got the golf tournament, and that's also a very popular place to stay and be if you're going to visit for the Super Bowl. So I heard that place was packed. We didn't actually go near Scottsdale during our coverage. Kasey ended up going to the tournament on Sunday, but Phoenix got busier like on Thursday into Friday and Saturday. So that's a good way to experience it. I mean, you can kind of get all you need to get in right on the weekend. You don't need the whole week. Like if you're a fan, you don't need to go on Monday and Tuesday. Absolutely not. You go just for Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
You mentioned the golf match out in Scottsdale. Is that the Waste Management?
Yeah.
Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me and Kasey will be breaking down some the best play from the weekend over there later on in the show.
Well, what's your take, Kasey, on it? As a fan, you've covered it now. Like if you were going as a fan, like a Jags fan, go to the Super Bowl next year in Las Vegas. Now, Vegas is a little bit different, too. You might want to extend that one. But how long are you going?
Yeah, you really don't need the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And, I mean, you could fly in on Thursday and it'll be fine. But, I mean, literally where we were, and, like, we walked a lot. Like, we walked from the hotel to the convention center, which is multiple blocks. There's a lot of bars and stuff in between, and it didn't even get busy till Thursday. So if you want to do stuff, like, without it getting busy, maybe slide through on Wednesday. But if you want some of that camaraderie with the people wearing any NFL jersey that they've picked up or their team, whatever, you see all kinds of jerseys. If you want that, Thursday, Friday.
You know, have you ever been to Vegas before?
I have not.
Neither of you. Case? Have you been?
Yeah. Big time.
Yeah, you would get lost in a deep, dark hole in Vegas.
Oh, big time. Done it.
Yeah. A week's worth of the Super Bowl in Vegas, we would never see Kasey ever again.
I think we should go for 2 weeks. We'll hit the Pro Bowl, too, next year.
Oh, fun.
Because that's going to stay, most likely, right?
I don't know. I just think we should go to Vegas.
But I think that's the word. I think that it could stay there.
In Vegas.
Versus the Pro Bowl.
Versus going wherever.
Well, like rotating or something like that. I'm pretty sure like Vegas is going to be the new
That's fun.
Hawaii. Mm-hmm. You know, it did come to Orlando for a bit, but I think Vegas is going to be, for the players, I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
all right,
fun.
let's go out to
Vegas.
Vegas.
Like a destination trip. It kind of entices them to participate.
Well, here's the other thing about that is a lot of players will go to year-end trips. I think like the defensive line, I overheard them in the locker room on clean-out day. I think they were going to Jamaica, or they were planning a trip to Jamaica. So the position groups will go for a few days. Well, the Pro Bowl in Vegas is perfect. Like you can go with whoever made the Pro Bowl and still go hang out in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Think about this next year. It isn't Super Bowl's in Vegas. I mean, Jags have some decent odds. Now, that would be one hell of a time. I mean, if you're going to Vegas, I think is going to be a really cool city for the Super Bowl.
Sure.
Super Bowl's cool no matter what.
Well, you'll get decent weather in Vegas. The worst you'll get is a chill, right? You're not going to get rain out there.
And there's just, I mean, imagine if the Jags go to the Super Bowl for the first time ever and they go to Vegas for the
That'll
Super
be
Bowl.
fun. Imagine how many people from Jacksonville are just going to try and get out there just for fun. Not even to attend the game.
True.
So when are you sending them, Kasey?
To
Did
Vegas?
we answer that question?
We talking specifically Vegas? Any other Super Bowl, we're sending them on Thursday morning. Vegas Super Bowl, we're sending them the week before on Sunday night. So you got Monday through 2 weeks. You got 2 full weeks.
You want them to be dead-ass broke by the time the game starts.
Casey's going to have 2 full weeks in Vegas for the Super Bowl and still not get any interviews for us.
Probably. That's probably true.
What would you do? This is hard for you.
Okay.
Because you're not a fan. Like, this is hard for us to answer this question.
All right.
Because I asked the question during Super Bowl Sunday. Let's start training ourselves, Jags fans. If they go to the Super Bowl, what's your Sunday like on Super Bowl Sunday?
Oh, like how are you going to prepare to watch the boys in the biggest game of your life?
It's one thing if you're going, but majority of people aren't going to go.
Right.
I mean, I know a lot of people will feel like they're going, but if you take all the people in Jacksonville who are Jags fans, a majority of people aren't going. You go to church that morning, you start drinking early.
You got to make it to the game.
What's that?
I do like the combination, though. You start early with the sacrament and the wine.
It's fine if you don't make it to a game in week 7 because you're drinking early, but it's not necessarily fine to not make it to the Super Bowl if you're drinking early. Well, don't you want to be there if it happens?
So I asked this question on Sunday, and I got some exam. Mary said it needs to be within 5 years. It would be a dream come true to go. Game day would be a combination of excitement and anxiety. Mark said hopefully starting off the day at a brunch buffet on the Strip or beignets and coffee within the next couple of years.
Beignets and coffee. I like that.
Yeah, that's a new thing. So it's going to New Orleans soon. Is that what he's anticipating it's going to go to New Orleans?
I guess.
I'm not sure, but
do they
speaking
have beignets in Vegas?
Speaking of coffee,
I'm sure they have
Aaron,
everything in Vegas.
You
Go
made
ahead.
coffee at the start of the show. It's still sitting here.
I totally forgot about
I
it.
just put it in the microwave, man. You'll be fine.
There is no way.
Chris was very matter of fact, leaving the hotel to get to the stadium. Doug said my blood pressure would read 212 over 115. And that would be true.
There's a fun fact. That's Kasey's resting blood pressure.
I don't know anything about blood pressure, so
just trust me.
Okay.
It'll be miserable waiting around all day until kickoff, and then it'll be incredible, says Sebastian. So much pride for the Jags in this great city we're blessed to live in. Same as any other game, ignoring all pregame in lieu of Premier League and Phoenix Open, figuring out what international broadcast via VPN I'll listen so I can avoid watching the ads getting in the way of the sporting event.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's deep. 1 year from now, we'll be hosting the greatest Super Bowl party at my house ever. Can we come? I wonder what the parties would be like in Jacksonville.
I think if the Jaguars go to a Super Bowl, we have to force our company to throw a party for somebody, a Super Bowl party at somebody's house.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. It's like me, you, and Kasey broadcasting from the best Super Bowl party in Jacksonville. And we just do it for somebody at their house. I did this a while ago when I was programming X1029 back in the day. We took the band Switchfoot. You familiar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Switchfoot. And we did a contest where we would invite Switchfoot to your house to play your backyard.
That's cool.
And we ended up, some kid in Mandarin won, and we took Switchfoot to his house.
That's great.
And he was throwing a house party, and they played some songs acoustically in the backyard, took pictures with everybody, and then we ran out of there before some
That's
intros
really cool.
happened. Yeah, it was fun.
That's incredible.
We should do that for the Super Bowl.
You know what's interesting?
We're not a big of draw as Switchfoot, but sure.
I think
it's almost the same thing.
You know, I emceed a couple weeks ago the Blue and Gray Bash. You know that at UNF.
Yep.
And this was the week before the Super Bowl, and they auctioned off a party at the new suite in the basketball court. And it's a great idea, actually, because you can fit 200 people in there.
Nice.
And you can watch it on the Jumbotron.
A 200-person suite, you said?
Well, it's it's a long suite. It's the full end zone of it. So you can get 200 people in there, drinks and food and everything else, and you watch on the Jumbotron, and you got other TVs closer up. That'd be a fun place to have a little party.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't have to clean up after yourself.
Well, we've learned that we can't have parties, so it would just have to be a get-together or something like that.
I do think about, there are a couple of things. We're covering Tony Baselli, and we were wondering if he was getting the Hall of Fame, and you used to tell you on the Saturday before the Super Bowl. And I remember being in Miami, which was the last Super Bowl we went to before this one, and I thought he was getting in. And all of a sudden, I had this feeling like we've been preparing for this for 6 years, you know? I mean, we've been every Super Bowl, we thought he was going to get in. And I remember thinking, I'm not sure we're ready for this news. This is huge news. And although we've planned for it, it's just do we have all our ducks in a row if it happens? Because people were taking forever to come down. He usually would text us or let us know if he hadn't gone in or something like that, or we'd find out that way. And it was taking longer and longer. I'm like, I think he might have got in. And it just hit me. And I think the Super Bowl would feel the same way to me. I think I'd have a hard time enjoying it just because we'd be working and it'd be crazy amount of work. It'd be a lot of fun, but you can't enjoy it from the real perspective. And you'd also feel like, all right, are we ready for this? Where are people? Am I ready for this as a fan?
Yeah.
Do I have a big enough party planned, right? Did I really think this was going to happen? I don't know. Am I going?
Am I
going to spend that kind of money? Did I budget that kind of money?
No.
Because I'm telling you this, it's going to cost you at least $5K to get out there for the game, probably, if you put everything all together.
Yeah. Yeah,
depending on
especially at
how
those
many people are
hotels.
going.
Yeah.
Because we kind of were in that thought process that AFC Championship game with 10 minutes to go in New England.
Yeah, people start booking those trips way out in advance, too, yeah.
We were on the phone with the airlines. Like, we better book stuff.
You know, you talk about you'd have to work it, so you might not be able to really enjoy it as a fan, but I do think you personally do a good job after these big moments that you work through, that you cover in sports, to reflect on those things. I often see you post something that's like, hey, this was a fun time. I got to really enjoy these people and these things. I think that's something I'm bad at that you're pretty good at. Just not necessarily. Sometimes you can't live in the moment because you're working in the moment, but you do take the time to reflect.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
I think you get a good feel. I think we know this fan, especially if it comes to the Jags too, right? You know the fan base, you know everybody, and kind of how they're good pulse for what this would be. But I'm telling you, man, this is off the charts. Like, we're talking about this, and I know people are high on the Jags, and I know right now people are thinking, yeah, Brent, we're going to the Super Bowl next year. I mean, you know how much has to go right to go to the Super Bowl?
Everything.
How many good teams? Like, the Bills were talking this way last year too. And so my point is, when it does happen, which I'm convinced it will happen at some point, and are you ready for it? Like, are you really ready for it? Like, yeah, you say you're ready for it, but are you ready for everything that comes with it? Not just us covering it. I'm talking about you, the fan. I think that's like a harder thing because it's just so different.
And you don't know what you don't know. And this
your
fan base
emotions are
has
high.
no idea.
Like, just this place will be, fill this place in January, man. It was unbelievable. Can you imagine another couple of weeks when you know you're going to the Super Bowl and the build-up for 2 weeks on that?
Crazy.
I mean, just cancel work productivity for like 6 weeks to start 2024.
You hear that, Kasey? You get another 6 weeks after the 52 weeks you just
like the
took off.
groundhog.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
All right, let's get some tweets.
Oh, speaking of the groundhog, has Aaron Rodgers seen his shadow yet or no? I'm wondering what he's up to. Hey, Sports
They cracked the
Illustrated.
window, maybe.
Maybe. Sports Illustrated with the first tweet we'll do here today. Their caption: Derek Carr, Saquon Barkley, and Josh Jacobs all could have new homes in 2023, while Joe Burrow and Justin Jefferson could sign massive contract extensions. Sports Illustrated ended up doing a piece on who may get what. I guess my question to you guys is, who do you think gets the bigger deal done? Joe Burrow this offseason or Lamar Jackson?
I think Joe Burrow.
You think Joe Burrow?
Yeah, I think there's some conversation that he plays in Cincinnati, cheap Cincinnati. It doesn't matter, Kasey, in this instance.
He's
Joe
Mr.
Burrow's getting
Ohio,
paid, man.
yeah.
It's definitely Joe Burrow, but also Lamar's going to get the deal. Joe's will just be bigger, but Lamar's will come from somebody else.
Joe's going to be bigger, what, average annual value? Because
all of it.
I think Lamar's going to be bigger guaranteed money.
I don't think so.
I don't think teams are going to do this precedent where everyone's paying guaranteed now. I think Lamar may get it, if not from the Ravens, then from somebody else. We'll have to see what kind of tag he gets hit with.
Nah.
I actually don't think Lamar gets paid this offseason. I think he gets exclusive tagged.
You know, it's interesting. Who do you think should get the bigger deal?
Joe Burrow.
You know, Lamar's an MVP.
Joe Burrow.
Younger, further in the playoffs, better stats.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I'm just saying he's an MVP.
You're not going to convince me anything about Joe Burrow different.
Well, that's a good point. You're like, that's
my guy.
You can't get the glasses off, man.
That's
No,
okay.
it's
goggles sometimes.
You just said it. He hasn't won MVP.
I hate
Fair
Staley.
enough. Dude went to the Super Bowl. Dude went to the AFC Championship. Dude has better stats. Like, it's just, come on. Dude is better.
Well, all right, then what about the next guy in our tweets? BR Gridiron tweeting, the expectation is Daniel Jones' new contract will come in at over $35 million per season. Danny Dimes about to secure the bag. My question is, would you pay it if you were the general manager?
Reluctantly. I think he gets stuck. I mean, I just think you have to do it. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could go with the
You've also
franchise.
got Saquon on that 5th-year option ending, and you might need to tag him. You can't use 2 tags.
To be honest with you, if I was doing this from a business-only standpoint,
sure,
I would tag Daniel Jones. I'm not convinced.
And do what with Saquon?
And
let him go?
See ya.
Let him go?
Yeah.
Probably.
Are you paying Danny, Case?
No, I'm tagging.
Tagging him?
I think you got. But again,
what are you guys looking to see from Daniel Jones that you didn't see this season?
Do it again.
Do it again, one. But two, I think there's potential, and this is going to cost you more in the long term, but he was this good under Dable. Can he do it again, but also take the step? So then if he's better, you're going to lose more money in the long run, but you're sure. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Isn't Daniel Jones, and listen, guys, step back for a second here when I say this, in the context of it.
Okay.
Isn't Daniel Jones the Blake Bortles situation from 2017?
Mm-hmm.
Like, isn't it like exact almost?
Where you kind of wanted more time.
I don't know if you can be exact almost, but it's like exact. Like he hadn't done much. People were done with him. Let's move on. Has the big year in his 4th season. Blake didn't have, I think, as strong a year front to back maybe as Daniel Jones, but he certainly had it when the time mattered and actually went further in the postseason than Daniel Jones. I mean, do the Giants learn from that scenario alone to say, listen, we love what you did. We think you're trending the right way. We love you. We think the best way to do this is probably give you the deal. But we don't want to get burned here because if we make a mistake, we could set the organization back years.
I don't want to put you guys on the spot and ask you if you understand Daniel Jones' stat line. But this season, I think most people feel like he's had a good season.
Yeah, the touchdowns aren't huge.
It's 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So he's not necessarily turning the ball over. 3,200 yards. Granted, he had no real receivers to throw to.
Right.
So I don't know that you could put it on his shoulders. But still, you're talking about $35 million. And I guess you're saying, well, the guy can run too. We certainly saw it here in Jacksonville. What did he do? Over 100 yards against Jacksonville, right?
Mm-hmm.
708 yards rushing this season. But last season, that was only 298. Season before, it was 423. Season before, it was 279. So to your point, to do it again, I'd be more curious about doing the 708 again, 7 touchdowns on the ground, by the way, than I would be about seeing his throwing. His throwing has been fairly consistent. Like, this is a guy on your team. You're never going to have him throw for more than 3,500 yards. It's just not going to happen. He's only been over 3,000 yards once, and that was this past season.
I was thinking of something. It'll be a hell of a power play.
What?
Is, and just out of the blue, I think, unless people have talked about it, I just haven't seen it, is the Giants trade, again, you have to get it to work.
Mm-hmm.
They trade Jones to Green Bay for Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh, not straight up, though.
Well, whatever.
It'd take like 2 first-rounders to go with him, but yeah.
Well, I don't know about that.
At least a first-rounder.
Maybe you give first round, whatever it is. Okay. I mean, I don't know what it is. I'm just saying, or name your, maybe it's
Lamar Jackson.
Maybe it's Arizona. You know?
Kyler?
Yeah, maybe. But they make this big splash move and bring in an ex-quarterback, whatever it is, you know, whoever you want to put in there. Because there are those situations available. This is a little different than the Derek Carr deal.
So you're
actually, you couldn't trade him, right? Because this is his 4th year complete. Have they picked up anything on
No, they're talking the extension this offseason.
They had originally declined the 5th-year option.
So he's a free agent?
I believe so.
I didn't realize they had declined him. Okay.
I thought they did before the season
Yeah,
started.
so actually, you can't even do that if he's a free agent.
But can you tag and trade?
You could probably try to do something like that.
But if you tag him, you got to do something with Saquon, and I don't think they want to let him go. Not after the season he just had.
You started this tweet segment and you mentioned the running backs. Who did you mention?
Josh Jacobs,
Saquon,
Josh Jacobs, and I got another one coming up here.
Okay, well I'll ask this question on the heels of what you have coming up.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so Dov, the agents of Cowboys running back Zeke Elliott will quote figure out his value at the combine and then decide if they'll accept a restructured contract to stay with Dallas, according to Adam Schefter. If Zeke refuses to restructure the deal, he's likely released.
I think that all makes sense. I mean, it's pretty wild, right? They're going to find out his value. It means they're going to talk to people and see who's interested.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I got to believe whatever Ezekiel Elliott's about to sign or will sign should be kind of a show me type of deal. If somebody else were interested, I wouldn't be extremely interested. I think from what he says, he wants to be there. He might restructure and stay in Dallas to keep it together. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of bad blood there. So.
I think he's not happy about his usage, though. Not only did they have him on a pitch count for the last 2 years, but Tony Pollard has absolutely come forward as this massive entity. Yeah. Yeah, listening to Emmitt Smith the other day talk about these guys, he's like, the Cowboys need to bring both these guys back. Tony Pollard is amazing, and Zeke is Zeke. I'm like, well, that's not saying much. Guy really hasn't done much the last couple of seasons.
Where's Ezekiel Elliott end up, Kasey?
Somewhere random.
On the Giants.
Nah, not.
Why not?
Nah.
Now you say random like in Arizona.
Yes.
Yeah.
I say somewhere
I can feel
that doesn't really, matter. Like he's a backup to Kenneth Walker in Seattle.
I don't think.
I think if he leaves,
I think if he leaves Dallas, he's doing it for playing time.
Well, and I think then
but where is it going to come?
But then maybe it is like in Arizona,
Atlanta,
Steelers. Oh no, they have Najee.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know what Zeke's going to accomplish out of this. Like
could the Jags actually
he's not
use
a starter
Ezekiel
anymore.
Elliott?
He's not.
Could the Jags
actually
use him?
yes, but it won't happen because of he won't get near enough carries.
322 his first season, 242 in an injury second season, 304, 301, 244, 237, 231.
But, like, if we're sitting here, like, let's just say in that scenario he goes to the Jags. If he gets 231 carries that Travis Etienne doesn't get, we're riding.
Not if he's got 15 touchdowns.
Well, first of all, in this conversation, we're not bringing him in to take over for Etienne. Like,
No, this
he's
is like
a
a
role player.
yeah, this
but
is
here's
like
the deal.
a goal line
They're going to find this out at the Combine. In most situations around the National Football League, Ezekiel Elliott is now a role player. Now, can he get a few more carries here than maybe over here? Possibly. Like, Doug's not going to run it a bunch or all the time, so he might only get 6 carries a game. But the Jags could use somebody like him to fill out their backfield, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I'm me, like, I'm not nothing against him personally. All due respect to Zeke.
You just hate him.
No, I just think he's really been overrated the last couple of years, and he signed that big deal. And so
right after that.
like, I don't think he changes being on the Jags. I do think the Jags need to find more depth in the backfield, and could a show-me deal in Jacksonville make some sense? Remember what I said coming out of last year? It's the one position group that they don't have veteran leadership. Like, so how would he do in that role? I don't know. And,
Are you looking at
especially
this guy like a leader, though?
Well, no, I don't know. I don't think Zeke's a bad guy.
He's on the books to make 10.9 this year.
Yeah,
so
he ain't
clearly,
making that.
Right. Clearly, the Cowboys want to restructure that. The question is, how far down will it go before you meet market value for this guy? $7 million?
No, below that.
$5 million?
Yeah, probably. It's probably a $5 million guy. 1 year, $5 million, or maybe he gets 2 years somewhere else, like $12 million, but it's friendly for the team to get out after 1 year. Like,
see, now,
how old is Zeke?
I can't go with you there because, like,
7, I think.
Which is crazy. But you have whole teams like the Carolina Panthers who don't have a running back. Why wouldn't they just pay $7 million to have that guy?
Yeah, maybe they will. Maybe they will.
And if you're Zeke, like, hey, I can earn something here. I got no friction. I'm just running.
Yeah, well, that's fine. And so there might be some landing spots. There are probably a few, and probably more than I'm even imagining in my head.
Here are some names around the money you're talking about, $5-6 million. Or are you talking lower than that?
No, I was talking 5 low.
Naeem Himes is a 6.2. Eckler, who's going to get a different deal, is a 6.125. Chase Edmonds in Denver.
Yeah.
$6 million. Cordarrelle Patterson, 5.25. Gus Edwards. Who? Gus Edwards in Baltimore. He's making 4.5. McKissick at Washington doesn't even play. $3.5 million.
Yeah, he's definitely making more than
Najee's on a rookie deal, so it doesn't count. Travis on a rookie deal.
What's
doesn't
like
count.
$8 million?
$8 million doesn't exist. You got Connor at 7. You got Aaron Jones at 12.
Okay, so between 7 and 8.
Who's better? James Conner. He's
Conner.
kind of like
Connor's way better right now.
So much better. But
Way
also,
better.
he's the only. They got rid of Chase Edmonds, and he was the only guy.
Yeah.
So like they force fed him also because then Colt McCoy had to
Still
come
look
in
great.
and all that stuff. Yeah, he did great.
I think the problem with Zeke being a feature back is like there's just no speed there. Everybody loves speed.
Yeah.
And there's no speed. Like, it looks slow. It looks slow motion relative to a lot of the other stuff going on around the National Football League. But that doesn't mean you can't play a role. And can you get Cook? Like, see, the problem with James Robinson was I feel like he needed 12, 15, 18 carries to get it going all the time. I'm not sure Zeke needs that. I think Zeke can play the role that he's kind of played in Dallas, but you're just not going to pay him as much as he was making. He's got to understand the role. And I think that's probably the best role for Ezekiel Elliott. I think if he's a featured back, I think he's an average guy.
It just kind of sounds like
I
his
really do.
camp doesn't understand that lay of the land
Well,
yet.
that's fine. They shouldn't. I mean, they want the best for him. Like, that's okay. They want more money for him. They want
more money for them.
A role for them. Like, that's what they should be doing. I'm just saying, I think reality is reality. I think the name is bigger than the game. He's an older 27, in my opinion. And I think the game has got a lot faster than the way the Cowboys play it, but the way that Ezekiel Elliott plays it, the way like Dak Prescott plays it. I think that's part of the problem right now in Dallas is the game is flying right by him in those positions. They're fast in a lot of other spots, but not in those positions. I think it's hurting him. You brought up earlier, serious. You asked the question about the quarterbacks. I know we're way late, but just to finish this off, Saquon or
Josh Jacobs.
I keep forgetting. Josh Jacobs.
Jacobs in a heartbeat.
Bigger deal.
Oh, I'm sorry. Not.
You asked the question, who got the bigger deal, Lamar or Joe Burrow?
Saquon gets the bigger deal, despite Jacobs' success this past season.
I would agree with Aaron, and then Josh Jacobs will overperform like crazy, and then there'll be some drama again.
No, I think actually Jacobs gets paid this offseason and then under-delivers on that contract just because this is who he's been so far. But You can run an offense through Saquon.
Isn't the resume on Josh Jacobs, like I don't have the numbers in front of me, like feels way better.
It's fine.
Right?
It's good. Yes. Like the Josh Jacobs is the weirdest character arc of all time. So he went there, he ran for over 1,000 yards, he was fine
With Darren McFadden.
Old Darren McFadden.
Yeah, old and injured. Yeah.
Yeah, and he never there's never a significant drop off in his stats.
2021. 872 yards.
Okay.
That's his bad year.
And then his good year was this year at 1,600 yards.
Right, but what was the rookie year numbers?
1150.
Okay. So a couple hundred yards drop off.
That's pretty significant.
In a team that went through what they went through.
872 in more games than the rookie season.
Right. He was great in his rookie year, but I'm saying it's not like it's 411.
I'll tell you where he really stepped up in that bad season was pass catching. Rookie year, 20 receptions. That bad year, quote unquote, 54 receptions. Rookie year, 166 yards. The quote bad year, 348.
But I think if you're looking at that and you're signing deals and you're like, okay, at the bare minimum, we're getting 800 yards. We've seen his receiving game get better. And at the high end, we're getting 1,800 yards in a best case scenario situation.
I think he gets paid.
With Saquon, is he going to be healthy?
Yes.
Well, and that's what
Do we know, though?
That's what I would flip it.
Yes.
What's you're a GM. What's your better investment, Josh Jacobs or Saquon Barkley?
So Jacobs has played 13 games, 15 games, 14 games, and 17 games.
Hard to ignore.
I'm going Josh Jacobs.
And obviously, the high point guy, right? The potential, the top of the mountain is Barkley. We know
Barkley can be Christian McCaffrey.
And also, don't lose sight of this, and I don't know how much value each organization puts on this, star. Like he's this compared to Josh Jacobs from a star.
And that's the other thing. Jacobs might be a nice guy or whatever, does not come across well on television. Does not. He always looks like he's not happy to be there, doesn't want to talk to anybody. Saquon, very smiley, very presentable in a commercial kind of way.
Well, but even to the last part of that, even if he was happy and whatever, I don't know about that stuff. I'm just saying, Saquon Barkley, healthy Saquon Barkley is a superstar.
Hey, you guys talk like this guy has played 3 games in his career.
Well, he's played 2 seasons, essentially.
He missed 1 season with a bad injury, and then he came back, tried too hard, overcompensated, hurt himself because of it, and then missed some games while he was recovering. So he didn't have an all-pro season. But that first season, if you're going to use Kasey, the Jacobs first season, you got to look at Saquon's first season in the same light and then compare the rookie season and last season, and he's like head and shoulders above this guy.
That's fair, but I think if I'm the GM, if I can get Josh Jacobs for less.
Do you think it's going to be that much less? How much you paying Josh Jacobs?
Who's at the high water mark of the
16 for McCaffrey, 12 for Kamara.
He's going to be both 10. These guys will be more in the probably 12 range.
I would rather get Josh Jacobs for 10, 11 than Barkley for 12 to 14.
Barkley plays 16 rookie year, 13 the following year, 2 the following year, 13 the following year, 16 last year.
But that 13 was bad, right?
The 2 years ago, 21. Yeah, it was 593 total yards.
I just think you have a better chance to get better, like boom for your money with Jacobs because you have to pay Barkley more. Somebody's going to pay Barkley something outrageous.
That is true.
A good point.
That's a good point. And by the way, I think Josh Jacobs has given you a pretty good resume of what you know you're going to get. I still think there's a little bit unknown on the high water mark and also the low water mark of Saquon Barkley.
That's fair. Just one more thing, and then we can go. I know we're itching to get to break. 91 receptions rookie year for Barkley. 41 in the bad 2 years ago. 57 this past year. So the man is also good for 50-plus catches and however many yards that would be on whatever team.
Depending on the organization, right?
Yeah.
And obviously you got a ton of money. It's a huge investment regardless.
Both guys, 3 down backs.
But the bottom line is, like, Saquon's way more fun. Like, the whole thing, the whole package, everything else. But he's also more risky. That's fact.
It feels to me like Saquon's the guy that will sign the big deal with the random team.
The Rams.
The random team.
The Rams.
Oh,
dumb
you're confirming.
Team, yeah. Because they need a running back, and he's the kind of guy that McVay likes.
I
one
can't
of these
imagine they
guys.
have salary cap space.
Yeah, no way. No. But they'd restructure. What is salary cap?
Like, this feels like a Le'Veon Bell to the Jets without the stuff.
Oh.
I feel like we were just, like, sponsored in a commercial-less hour.
Yeah, it's been a long
because
time.
It's been a long time.
I still got more tweets.
It's only been 31 minutes.
That's it.
I got one more tweet about a quarterback. Because they're talking about numbers for Herbert now in terms of money, and I think you're not going to be happy about it. And then I got another tweet about maybe possibly Jags action from the Eagles.
Just to confirm, Christian Kirker, the real human, has commented on YouTube. So joke's on you guys. He's a real person.
Is he mad he didn't get the Pro Bowl?
I
nod
already
this
have
year?
confirmed that he's a real person.
I'm talking to Aaron, dude.
Oh.
You're not the only one here.
Just
Kasey
saying.
Kurtz, Brent Martin.
Can you tell your friend Christian Kirker? I thought he did really well this season.
And Aaron Schachterbaum will be back in just a couple minutes on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny and warm today. A little bit breezy at times, but temperatures near record highs in the mid-80s. Partly to mostly cloudy and mild tonight, just dropping to 60 to 65. And your Friday will have a mix of clouds and sun, breezy and warm, and then a period of late-day showers, so have an umbrella nearby with highs near 80 degrees. I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, proud to offer a huge selection of both lab-grown and natural diamonds at the lowest prices guaranteed.
Start the new year off with worry-free water. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. The experts at CGC Water Treatment will test your water for free and provide solutions that are right for you and your family, like they've done for my family for over 5 years. Imagine having clean, clear, purified water at your home. No more plastic bottles, no more waste, just great tasting, purified water that you can trust. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment. Your authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1428211.
Are you a real estate investor or have considered investing and want to know where you can put your money that offers solid returns and protects against market volatility? It's Rich Jones. I want to introduce you to DLP Capital. CEO and founder Don Wenner.
For more than a decade, DLP Capital has delighted our investors with consistent double-digit returns. Through the smart, conservative real estate investment strategy our company is built on, we have been able to achieve this with monthly distributions and tax shelters so our investors can keep more of their returns.
Dial ** invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
See you, Dad. Bye, honey.
Have fun today, you guys. My back pain has left me feeling isolated. After years of physical therapy, chiropractors, and acupuncture, my pain needed a permanent solution. Finally, I found Integrity Spine and Orthopedics in Jacksonville. Their top-rated doctors listen to you, and they even create your own personalized plan. Now, I don't have to miss out on life with my family. Hey, guys, wait up!
Integrity, where you matter most. Schedule your appointment today at integritymattersmost.com.
For many servicemen and women, the battle doesn't end when they come home. And I know, because I too struggle with the invisible wounds of service. Pups for Patriots and Sam literally changed my life. If you're a veteran or know a veteran struggling with post-traumatic stress or a traumatic brain injury, go to AmericanHumane.org to learn more about the Pups for Patriots Service Dog Program. Let's give our veterans a fighting chance.
A message from American Humane.
It's go time at UNF Arena for the Ospreys as the calendar is flipped to 2023. ASUN action is underway in men's and women's basketball on the campus of the University of North Florida. If you haven't seen a game courtside or from the new suite, it's one of the best seats in Jacksonville. Swoop with the Ospreys as they build toward a run in March. Buy a ticket, see a schedule, get a score at unfospreys.com. Be a part of the momentum at the University of North Florida. Hoop it up, swoop it up, unfospreys.com.
Well, hello there. I am the Guitar Hotel. I have over 3,000 of the newest slot machines and nearly 200 table games with real cards and real dealers. Come experience my incredible lineup of restaurants, bars, and of course, Hard Rock Live. Or spend a day soaking up the sun in my 18 acres of poolside paradise. I can't wait to meet you. Visit hardrockholly.com to find out more.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
At the UPS Store, we know this upcoming holiday is when things can get busy for small business owners.
Exactly. My to-do list and I don't take days off.
That's why you can count on us to be open and ready to help with every small business need, whether it's packing and shipping or if it's just to check your mailbox.
That's almost everything on my to-do list. My list and I can take the day off.
Your local, the everything to help you be unstoppable store. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. The UPS Store locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
Meet Mike Lester.
You sit down with somebody and they put themselves out there as an advisor. Their job is to advise you on how to invest your money. If they turn around and try to sell you an annuity product, now they're a salesperson. I'm very frustrated with how they promote themselves as advisors, but really they're just salespeople for insurance companies. I wouldn't sell my mother an annuity, and if somebody's looking out for your best interest, they wouldn't sell you one either.
Visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Talon Private Wealth LLC. Investing in stock markets involves the risk of loss, and there is no guarantee that all or any capital invested will be repaid. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results.
Hi, this is Stan Nagel for Energy Seal Foam Insulation, reminding you that summer's coming. Give us a call. Save 30% off our summer rates. Call EnergySealToday.com. We spray attics, subfloors, metal buildings. EnergySealToday.com. 888-306-3626.
As parents, we all want to ensure that our children are safe, secure, and healthy starting day one. Please make sure your newborn is sleeping safely. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com/safe sleep for infant safety tips. That's wolfsonchildrens.com/safe sleep.
Touch a Truck is back. Join us February 25th at 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. with fire trucks, food trucks, police cars, and more. All at Brooks Family YMCA off Centurion Parkway. For more info, visit ESPN690.com and follow us on Facebook at Touch a Truck Jacks.
You know, I'll say this about Schachterbaum. He brought it today.
Hey, you like that? I brought a lot of ideas to the table.
Kasey.
Yes.
Text thread was crazy, wasn't it?
It was crazy.
Oh, all right. Well, look, I took a personality profile with this company a while ago. It says, when there is a void, I like to step in and assert my leadership.
Is that what it said?
And there is certainly a producer void on this radio show.
Can we do one of those personality things live with Kasey?
I think that would be amazing. As a matter of fact, better than that, I would love for a young up-and-coming therapy group to maybe sponsor the Brent Friends radio show by giving Kasey on-air sessions because he really needs them. And also, it'd be fun.
I like it.
Case?
Do I get a talent fee?
The talent fee is your mental well-being.
I will do it if I get paid.
That part is free, the therapy part. You know how much you'd have to pay for that?
Yeah, I'm good.
$50 a session, according to our insurance. Hey, you know what would be great? Listening to Kasey cry on the radio would be fantastic.
We'll get a couch in here and everything.
You and Nick Sirianni, buddy. You, Nick Sirianni, Derek Carr could all have like a support group.
Not a bad group to be associated with,
yeah,
to be honest with you.
You know, I was thinking about that Nick Sirianni moment, which I thought actually was really cool. I
It
think
was a beautiful moment. But I also say,
if they got the doors blown off him, that would have been
the meme.
Oh my gosh! Like he would have never lived it down.
The crying Jordan meme.
But nobody. You're right. It would have been very crying Jordan-esque.
Yeah.
But nobody really has made a big deal about it.
No.
Right? I think they almost appreciate. That's a weird in our society today to see something in front of 120 million people.
Especially football.
That looks a little odd. Like,
especially football.
Yeah.
You got a lot of toxic stuff in football.
And for it not to like hit weird. Now, maybe it did on TikTok or somewhere else, and I'm just not seeing it.
No,
but
not really.
I think it played out okay, like in the public eye. I think people actually appreciated it. That was weird to me.
I don't know that this is the reason it played out okay, but I will say, at the time he was listening to Chris Stapleton sing the national anthem, and in my opinion, it may be the best, if not second best version of the national anthem.
Well, you're never going to get best
I've ever heard in my entire life. Who's your best?
Well, everybody's.
Whitney
Houston's going to be the best.
It was amazing.
Whitney Houston is Babe Ruth.
It was amazing. Don't say Babe Ruth, Kasey.
So it wasn't that good.
Right.
Right.
Whitney Houston was amazing. Literally gives me chills when I listen to it. She's a tremendous singer. But I have never in my life heard a rendition of the national anthem the way Chris Stapleton sang it with so much soul. He changed it so much, but he kept all the bones in the foundation. It was amazing. Case, did you hear it on site or were you not able to hear it when you were there?
Yeah, I heard it.
What'd you think?
It's great. It's fantastic.
Okay.
It's the only time I ever thought, you know what I should do here? Record this.
It's really the only time during the whole week.
No, during the national anthem.
Just during the whole week.
Okay.
Like, oh, man, I should do something.
That's fair enough. And I did it. I got the last little part.
I got the last little part.
I was so moved by the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
It was gorgeous. It was what a great rendition that was.
I don't think people are going to agree with you on that. But I don't know where they're going to go.
Okay.
Like, people thought Chris Stapleton nailed the anthem. Like, I think that was universal.
Yeah.
I didn't see one person complaining about it.
No, I didn't think he was complaining. I'm saying like he's listening to this beautiful rendition.
No, I'm saying. But I'm telling in your context of Whitney Houston's #1 stands alone, like you can't top it. She's Michael Jordan of basketball. Block your ears,
It's a popular
Kasey. She's
opinion.
Babe Ruth.
Sure.
Like it's not. Nobody's ever going to give the national anthem #1 seed to anybody but Whitney Houston.
I agree with that.
I don't think they will.
But very much like
But for
the
you to say that
Jordan-LeBron conversation.
Yeah, you even put it in that conversation. Like, I heard it. I saw it. I must tell you, honestly, like, I didn't feel that.
You didn't feel it.
And I love
I was
Chris
really
Stapleton.
moved by this.
No, he was great.
I felt it.
It was great. You felt it, like,
Oh,
to
I
that
felt
extent.
it. Oh, I felt it.
It was so soulful.
I was feeling all kinds of
things.
things.
It was great. Like, here's the thing. I don't like a karaoke rendition, and I don't like someone who's going to go and make it theirs. It's not yours. It's the national anthem.
Yeah.
So, like, this guy did a little bit of both in the way that I like it. He made it his in a soulful way, but the bones were there. The guitar riff he was playing wasn't necessarily the national anthem, but the song was, and it worked. It worked so well.
You know what else was kind of cool about it? I think in today's day and age of we try to make everything a theatrical performance.
Mm-hmm.
It was as simple can get,
Dude in a
which
guitar.
is totally Stapleton.
And juxtapose it to that halftime show with all kinds of whiz-bangs and lasers.
Stop with the halftime show.
I'm just saying, I'm not saying good or bad. I'm just saying juxtapose it to the amount of production that goes into any halftime show at the Super Bowl, any of them.
Fair enough.
Good or bad. And then the national anthem, and normally it's like this, but this time specifically, just as simple as it gets, just like you said, a dude and his guitar, and it blew halftime out of the water.
Well, we're going to have country recording artist on in the 5 o'clock hour, Jordan Fletcher. We're going to ask him what he feels about it.
Man.
Get us back to some tweets.
All right. ML football tweets. I've asked five NFL agents to project what Chargers Pro Bowl quarterback Justin Herbert's contract extension will look like this offseason. Chargers have already said they're going to do it this offseason. Here's what the contract averaged out to among those 5 agents. 5 years, $52.4 million per year, $262 total million with a $200 million guarantee. That is 76.34% of the entire contract guaranteed. That's Herbert, a guy who has not won in the playoffs, has only made the playoffs once, and has a brand new offensive coordinator, and according to Kasey, one of the worst head coaches in the entire league. Meaning that your expectation for him to deliver above what he's delivered might be challenged.
Casey actually has an I hate Staley clause in the Herbert contract. He trademarked it.
Yeah.
Give me the numbers again.
It's 5 years, basically $52.5 million, $262 total, $200 guaranteed.
The guaranteed monies were, it's hard to understand it right now because this is a new territory for so many. What's fascinating to me in this conversation, which I don't think that feels that far off, these are important conversations because hopefully next year we're having them about Trevor Lawrence as well, and this is what the Jags are going to have to pony up times an added 2.5% or whatever.
I mean, I said 3 weeks ago, by the time you do Trevor's deal, you may be talking $60 million.
Yeah, I don't think it will be. If it's next year, I don't think you're talking $60 million.
Well, if Herbert gets 52.5 and Burrow, who might get the extension this offseason, gets 55.
Yeah, but so this is where else I was going to go with it. I think those numbers sound about right. Again, with the guaranteed money, I'm not sure. I don't know where that lands. I know more people are trying to get the guaranteed money. There's a precedent here with Deshaun Watson. Against Sean Watson's guaranteed money, sure, this makes sense. But to hear it at 75% guaranteed is very interesting. Like, we're changing the dynamics of how contracts are done in the NFL with guaranteeing 75% of a contract. We're also putting teams in major holes if it doesn't work out. But I think there's enough of a sample size with Herbert to know it's going to work out. And this is where I go with it. Burrow, Herbert. I think Trevor's tracking this way. I think Josh Allen had done it. You don't need Super Bowl rings. Now, Mahomes is different because he obviously got it. But you don't need Super Bowl rings to get this contract because people see it. Like, they think to get to the Super Bowl, you need this guy. To win Super Bowl rings, you need this guy. This guy's going to help us do it. You don't have to answer that question. Now, in the Lamar Jackson category, I think you do have to answer the question, can you win a playoff game? And maybe Herbert, you could hold that against him a bit, right? Because he hasn't done it either, and he just made the playoffs. But I think people also believe that's not a Herbert problem. That's been some other things going on with the Chargers.
Whose problem would it be, though, then, if you had to put it on somebody?
Injuries.
You're a bum.
So
you don't like that answer.
It's not right.
He literally had to wear a flak jacket this year.
No, you're not right. They blew the playoff lead because of the coaching.
That's where he wanted me to go.
They didn't blow the lead to the Jags because of injuries.
So here's what I think. And Casey, I don't know if you think this, or Aaron, I don't know if you think this. But I think these are all going to be similar deals. Like, sure, somebody's going to make a little bit more here or there. But I don't think it just keeps going up and up at this enormous pace that you're projecting. 52.5 sounds about right.
Not for everybody.
I think Burrow's going to land in that 52, 53 million.
I put Burrow, after seeing this, 57.
No, it's not happening. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's not happening.
But here's the problem with your thinking. You're about to give Jimmy Garoppolo, who can't stay on the field, $35 million. You're about to give Daniel Jones, who can't throw over 3,000 yards, $35 million. You're telling me a guy like Joe Burrow, who's gone to the AFC championships in his young career and just does nothing but throw touchdowns and no interceptions, this guy's not going to get $55 to $57 million?
No, I don't think it will go that high. And here's the other part of this that you guys aren't factoring in, at least for now, is a guy like Patrick Mahomes, who is the best. He's the MVP and a two-time MVP, is at $45 million a year.
Right.
So, like, unless he restructure his deal, like, why are you $10 million more than Patrick Mahomes?
Because he's going to be on his third contract.
I just don't see it ballooning like that. I think this is all in a stratosphere of guys doing it at about the same time. If under your logic, and I don't even have it in front of me, Aaron Donald would make $20 million more than anybody else. And I don't think he does. I don't know, his contract's huge, I get it. But he would make like X percent above anybody else. And that's just not the way it works. The group usually gets and inflates it, and somebody sets the market. And not always does the best guy set the market. Keep that in mind. That doesn't always happen. I mean, listen, for a minute, Christian Kirk had reset the market in the free agency of the wide receiver. So I just don't think it works that way. Your logic says it maybe should or would work that way. I don't think it will, and I think it's not even close to $57 million. In the realm of, it's more toward 52 million. It's closer to 50 million than it's closer to 60 million for these guys, without question, in my opinion.
I think you look at defensive line guys like Aaron Donald, who, by the way, is making almost $32 million on average, which number 2 on that list is $25 million. Those guys will get their biggest contract on their third deal. I think quarterbacks, modern quarterbacks, will get the biggest contract, successful ones, on the second deal, because by the third deal, you're restructuring to help bring guys in.
Probably.
And by the way, the salary cap doesn't mean anything. They're going to give, Herbert $200 million in guarantees, and then by year 3, they're going to rework his base to be $10 million and give him a $70 million signing bonus.
I'm really waiting on the rework of Patrick Mahomes' deal. Like, is that going to get done? Is that a thing? It
has to. He's got a 10-year deal.
Yeah, at some point, but he just won another Super Bowl. Like, I wonder if he'll push for that, his agent push for that, or is $45 million and being what does $45 million get you right now? Is that like the 6th highest paid quarterback in the NFL?
You're really good at that. I think it's actually on the nose. No, just kidding. Mahomes is 5.
Okay.
Allen is 6.
But after this offseason, he might be like 9.
Yeah,
or 8.
Yeah, once these guys get bumped, sure. So his base salary schedule looks like this: 5.5 in 23, 2.5 in 24, 2.5 in 25, 2.5 in 26, 10, 13, 20, 27, and 28 by 31. So they don't expect to get there, is the point.
Yeah. They'll rip it up.
They'll restructure after the 26th season, which, by the way, he gets a roster bonus of $40 million that year. They'll throw him whatever roster bonus they want.
Of course. So listen, the moral of the story here, to go back to what you brought up, I think it's in the right neighborhood for Herbert. It might not be that high. It might come down to 51. But and again, the guaranteed money is going to be interesting. The guaranteed money is something to watch on all these deals.
I think all the quarterbacks specifically will be looking for that high guaranteed money. And by the way, we talk about Deshaun because that was significant guaranteed money. Kirk Cousins was the first one I can remember with the fully guaranteed quarterback contract.
Because he became a free agent.
Yeah.
And ask yourself that. If Joe Burrow is looking at 52 and he's like, nah, I don't want that, in a bidding war, Joe Burrow's getting 60.
There is no way Cincinnati lets him walk. I don't care what the number is.
That's a great call, Kasey, but guess what? Kirk Cousins also got franchised twice while he was playing that card.
Still worked out.
I'm not saying it's always going to work out for the player. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But he's going to have to stay in jail for a couple more years, potentially, in Cincinnati, if that's how he felt about it.
But it's a good jail to be in, because you might win a Super Bowl in that jail.
And Cousins is a little bit different because it was $80 million guaranteed.
90.
Was it 90?
3 years, 30. Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking now 200
Jets
plus
million. Tried to guarantee him $99 million, and he was like, the Jets, not going to do it.
We'll be back. Football at 5 coming up, and we also go to Nashville, Tennessee for a hometown music guy. We
cool.
ask him about Chris Stapleton.
Would love it.
And he's a big Jags fan, so we talk some Jags as well. That's next on ESPN 690.
Brent and Friends is sponsored by Best Bet, now open in St. Augustine. Start the new year off with worry-free water. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. The experts at CGC Water Treatment will test your water for free and provide solutions that are right for you and your family, like they've done for my family for over 5 years. Imagine having clean, clear, purified water at your home. No more plastic bottles, no more waste, just great tasting, purified water that you can trust. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment. Your authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1428211.
If you're still wondering why you should buy from Arlington Toyota, maybe this will help. How about peace of mind? When you buy any new Toyota from Arlington, their lifetime warranty goes with you. That's unlimited time and miles. Plus, there's Arlington's 30-day exchange program. That's 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. And Arlington goes the extra mile by extending your Toyota Care coverage to 3 years or 36,000 miles. Now you know why you should buy from Arlington. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Meet Mike Lester, host of Guarding Your Nest Egg Radio.
Hearing from people that their advisors have just told them to hang in there, or their advisors go, hey, I know things have been tough. Why don't we just move you over to this annuity? That is not active management of portfolios. That's when things get tough, you just push your client to something that pays you a commission. We care about our clients. We care about our listeners. Information is power. Mm-hmm. And if you have more information, you'll be able to make informed decisions.
Visit guardingyournestegg.com.
The USS Orlick is a one-of-a-kind floating ship museum. Come visit her in downtown Jacksonville.
There's a feeling in the air where people seem to care in Jacksonville.
The Orlick, a Gearing-class destroyer with 18 battle stars, is one of the most distinguished ships of all time, and the most since the end of World War II. Jacksonville is a military town, and the Orlick honors all those that have served our great country. She's a great location for special occasions and meetings. Weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, memorial services are all spectacularly displayed on her massive deck. The Orlick is also a one-of-a-kind location for a business meeting. Your dream event can come to life aboard this historic destroyer. To find out more, visit jacksnavalmuseum.org or call 904-789-SHIP.
This is where I'm meant to be. Hello, Jacksonville. Hello, Jacksonville. I'm where I'm meant to be.
Find out more about holding your next event on the Orlick. 904-789-SHIP.
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carrie.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. It's a great time of year to invest in energy-efficient improvements to your home. With our competitive rates and new tax credits for insulation upgrades, you can get huge savings to improve your insulation today and see long-term savings every month going forward.
Give us a call and set up your free evaluation at 679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
At the UPS Store, we know this upcoming holiday is when things can get busy for small business owners.
Exactly. My to-do list and I don't take days off.
That's why you can count on us to be open and ready to help with every small business need, whether it's packing and shipping or if it's just to check your mailbox.
That's almost everything on my to-do list. My list and I can take the day off.
Your local, the everything to help you be unstoppable store. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. The UPS Store locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours may vary. See Center for details.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Over 2.8 million Americans have served in our military since 9/11. Many have returned home with devastating injuries and few resources for them and their families. This is news correspondent Bob Woodruff. I sustained a life-threatening injury while reporting from Iraq in 2006. The military had my back that day, and they have each other's while serving. It's time we had theirs. Please join us as part of the Got Your Six initiative. To learn more, go to gotyoursix.org using the number 6.
Jacksonville is a great place to live. And if you love where you live, you should invest in it. That's why more and more people bank with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. We invest every penny back into North Florida, backing the very best small businesses, nonprofits, and of course the family home. Why put your money with some big out-of-state bank when you can invest in where you love to live? One-to-One Financial. We're your hometown credit union. Sign up today at one-to-one-fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Nice run. It's great being back out on the mountain. You sort of disappeared for a while. Everything okay? Between you and me, it was lower testosterone. Lower T? Yeah. The doc told me once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone, and that can make it harder to stay in shape. That's why I started taking Nugenix Total T. It's made a huge difference. Oh, I've seen that on TV. Is it for real? For sure. It's the #1 doctor-recommended testosterone booster. It boosts free and total testosterone levels to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. My wife, my boss, my kids, everyone has noticed a change in me. Do they still give out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves? Yes. Just send them a text.
Guys, text HATCH to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone brand at GNC and Walmart. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back in shape fast, absolutely free. Text HATCH to 321-321. That's HATCH to 321-321.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. Tiger Woods playing the first round at Riviera Country Club, his first regular tour event since October of 2020. Woods is even par through 7 holes. Live coverage right now on ESPN+. The last NBA game before the All-Star break, the Suns hosting the Clippers tonight in Phoenix. Kevin Durant still recovering from a right knee sprain. When will he make his Suns debut? ESPN's Nick Friedel.
It felt around the league like, well, the All-Star break will come and go, and that Oklahoma City game here in Phoenix after the break, Kevin may be on the floor. I don't think that's as much of a slam dunk as it first appeared to be, because the Suns want to be very cautious, of course.
Nick Friedel. ESPN's Baxter Holmes reports former Suns owner Robert Sarver will give $20,000 bonuses to many team employees. Sarver sold the team to mortgage lender Matt Ishbia after an NBA investigation into his conduct. Former big league catcher and broadcaster Tim McCarver died today in Memphis. McCarver played 21 years and then called 23 World Series.
Coming up Friday, it's Michael Jordan's 60th birthday, which means we'll celebrate all of his greatest accomplishments. The GOAT's greatest accomplishments. Keyshawn, J. Willem X, 6 a.m. Eastern, ESPN Radio, ESPN2, ESPNU.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 690 and Action Sports Shacks presents Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau.
We're going to have to show a little more patience than the year 2 pom-pom people.
Kasey Kurtz.
Yo! What are we doing, bro? Come on!
And Aaron Schachter.
I'm all in favor of these two showing their love, really celebrating their relationship.
Get him! Get him! Get him! Hit him! Hit him! Yeah! Boom! Jack! Boom! Yeah! Boom! Jack! Boom! This is Brent and Friends with Brent Martineau, Kasey Kurtz, and Aaron Schachter on Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. ESPN 690.
Well, it's been a fun one here on a Thursday. Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, Kasey Kurtz. Football at 5. With the authority on how good Chris Stapleton's national anthem was, as we were talking about, coming up here in just a moment.
Bringing in the pro.
Yeah, we go to Nashville when we have questions like this.
Love it.
We've been working on this. We tried to get this guy on during Super Bowl week. We're chasing Trevor Lawrence on Friday as well, so we had to bump him. Apologies for that. And, well, here he is, sitting in traffic in Nashville, which is what everybody does now.
Chris Stapleton, welcome to the show.
Jordan Fletcher, welcome to the show for the first time on Brent Friends on ESPN 690 here in Jacksonville. Jacksonville guy ends up in Nashville as a country music recording artist. hello to you, and how did it happen?
Well, I'll say this. I wish that you were talking to Chris Stapleton right now. Well, it's a funny story, the way I ended up in Nashville. So I started as a drummer. I grew up in St. John's. I grew up, actually just south of Mandarin down there, and I was playing for churches down there. I went to a Fruitco Baptist, and so I moved to Nashville as a drummer. But one thing led to another, and like it usually does up here, and I ended up selling merch and selling T-shirts and singing songs for some independent bands, and then I ended up getting my own publishing deal and record deal. So it's been a crazy 7 years since I've been here.
So 7 years, that's pretty cool stuff. A big Jags fan. We'll get into that in just a couple of moments as well. And you played a big Jags party with the Bold City Brigade up there during the Tennessee game. So we'll ask you about the Jags stuff in just a moment. But obviously, you have some great influences in music to get you to Nashville, and being from Jacksonville, Leonard Skinner, a part of that.
Oh, absolutely, man. It seems like if you're born in Jacksonville, you get a Leonard Skinner CD once you are born at the hospital. So I think it comes with the territory. But yeah, I mean, Leonard Skinner, 38 Special. I mean, even Limp Bizkit. I mean, we've got it all. The Allman Brothers. So I mean, it's kind of. I think there's something in the water down there that I think the people up here in Nashville are enjoying, because I've been getting to kind of showcase a lot of what it meant to grow up in Jacksonville and the effect it's had on me and the way I write my music. So people have been responding to it, and it's been really cool. So I got to thank Jacksonville for that, for at least giving me a great place to start off from, man.
Another one of these famous bands that came up in Jacksonville has a lead singer that actually lives in Nashville, and I'm talking about Shinedown and Brent Smith, who fronts that band. And not to say that all you guys hang out together, but do you have any mentors in the business? Do you have anyone who's kind of taking you under your wing and trying to show you how it works? Or are you out there in the wild just trying to figure it out on your lonesome?
Oh, man, I've had so many people. You don't have enough time, really. It's been incredible. Since I've gotten here, it's been just people that love music. And when people see something that they like or hear something that they see some promise in, they'll bring you in. But I've had incredible artist friends and great songwriter mentors. I mean, Jonathan Singleton to be one, and Chris Dubois, who's written a bunch of stuff for Brad Paisley. It's a lot of incredible songwriters that are up here that I've been learning from for the past few years. But man, I've got so many people that have taught me so much, and I've got an incredible team that I'm getting to work with that have been doing a ton for me.
Brent, the reputation for country artists, by the way, is that they are the friendliest, easy to work with people out of all the music genres. Yes, out of all the music genres, country artists from top to bottom, mega famous to unknown, all of them are just super great with the fans, super nice people.
Well, Jordan answered the phone, so, we're off to a good start.
That's right, Jordan.
Is that true, Jordan?
Yeah, I think it is. Well, it's very, like, the philosophy of, rising tide raises all ships. You know what I mean? That whole thing. It seems like everybody's kind of on the same team. It's not as much of a competition, it feels like, anyways, because I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for different artists and different friends who gave me opportunities to play music in front of their fans and share fans. And fans are so loyal and they want to see, new artists do well. And that's a big part of country music too, just experiencing new artists and new people. So just in general, it's a very accepting and exciting environment to kind of grow your business in and to learn the music industry in. Because, yeah, people are super nice. It's all like friends that you grew up with, really. And it feels that way.
Jordan Fletcher with us here on Brent Friends on ESPN 690. It's hard, though, man, isn't it? How hard is the business to get into, to get moving, to get where you want to go?
Man, you got to do everything. It's wild, especially right now. It's so saturated. There's so many people here, and that's the thing, everybody needs to have the opportunity to chase what they need to say. But at the end of the day, you have to do everything, and you got to say yes to everything when you first start out. I remember when I first, because I've had really every job you can have. I've done session work. I've recorded drums for people. I've sang for people. I've songs. I've sold T-shirts. I've done everything that you can do. And you kind of have to do all that stuff, at least from what I've seen in my experience. You kind of have to do all that stuff to find your way in the industry, and you make friends along the way. And at the end of the day, those are the people that actually, help you and vouch for you. So, that's really the whole thing, the time spent and the connections made,
All right. So here's the backstory here with Jordan Fletcher. Cap, our man Cap, runs or has helped build Bold City Brigade. Obviously has a relationship with Jordan Fletcher. I didn't know that. I didn't know how long this goes back, but he hooked us up. And he knew I liked country music. So he's like, hey, this might be a guy you'd like to have on the show sometime. And obviously you're pushing out some new stuff as well. And so that's like a little bit of the background story. And so I go listen to Jordan Fletcher's stuff, and I'm like, I've heard this stuff. You know, like I even texted him. I was like, hey, man, like I heard Rather Be Broke and Death and Taxes. And I mean, I listen to a lot of country now from different spots. And so I just never married the two, like your name and the song together as I'm listening to it. And that I was texting you and saying, hey, when are we going to come on the show? And I mean, it got some really good. How good did those songs do for you? Like Rather Be Broke has been out there for a long time, man. And I feel like been heard by a lot of people.
Well, man, that did a whole lot for me because the highway and different like outlets really kind of jumped on that and pushed me, and it kind of got me the opportunity with the Grand Ole Opry and getting to play that. So it was really a big mover for me as far as like my career had gone up to that point, because I'd put out a handful of songs, but none of them had reacted as well as that one. So I mean, that was just a really huge boost for me and what we were trying to do. With my business, and it was just really cool to get to be a part of that. But yeah, Rather Be Broke has done a ton for me, and a lot of people have responded to it.
Well, here's the latest one that you have coming out, and Hometowns Don't, which obviously, at least in your part, I think this could be a lot of different hometowns, but for you, it's your hometown, which is right here in Jacksonville. We'll take a little listen. Kasey, play Hometowns Don't, the newest one coming out that you can find on YouTube right now and probably other places.
Yeah, them back roads got a lot of dirt on me. Mama probably whooped my ass if they could speak. Road may flood in heavy rain warning. Walmart spray painting my name on it like the river cuts through it. My roots run deep. Trucks break down, and girls break up, and clocks run out, and times get tough. Good dogs die, and friends move on. Yeah, the world will kick you out and chew you up and spit you out, but hometowns don't.
That's Hometowns Don't, man, and obviously that's got some Jacksonville in it, but that's probably got a lot of hometowns throughout the U.S. of A. in it as well. How new is this and fresh is this one that you're putting out there?
Oh, man, it's right off the press, bro. I mean, I'm talking it's coming out first of this month, coming out 1st of March, and we're so excited. We're revving up for a bunch of releases afterwards, too. So this is it's going to be a big year for me. A lot of releases, a lot of touring, a lot of stuff coming back home and really getting to play for the people I grew up with and the people around. You know, I'm just really trying to grow a fan base back home, and I'm excited for it, man. This is going to be a good move in that direction.
Jordan, Aaron Schachter is on our show. He's really a music guy. He's on 96.9 The Eagle, which you've probably listened to many times here in Jacksonville growing up as a kid. And I don't know how this part of it works. He probably does. But I do often wonder, because I listen to a lot of country music especially, and I'm like, how do you time when to put out a song, right? Like, and how does that part work? And when do you put the next one out, the spacing of it? I mean, it's got to be strategy involved, I would think.
Oh, a ton, man. A lot of thinking, a lot of planning, and a lot of people involved, man. It takes a village really to get a song out in front of the public. You know, as much as social media and everything and radio has a wide grasp and a wide exposure, you still have to be intentional about how you get it in front of people, you know. And so that's really what last year we released a few songs. We took Death and Taxes to radio, so that was a lot of fun, and there was a lot in that where I went all over the U.S. and met a lot of really cool people in radio. But I would say, like, Hometowns Don't, I feel like this is kind of like me looking at this and going, man, I feel like I need to really put this out there and really just, like, show some love to the place that I love so much that has made me who I am. And I think it's a really cool way to start this year because, you know, I mean, like I said, we got a bunch of music coming out, and so I can't really think of a better way to start it off than to bring it back home, you know.
Jordan Fletcher with us. I like when you do hit a landmark in your songs that we know in the area.
I live here.
And I do. I like that stuff, right? I mean, I think that's fun and I'm going to ask you about it, but let's play it first coming up here in just a moment. But there's another song, Firebird, that you have, and I think you mentioned Keystone Heights in that song, and then there's this one where you might get a Jack's Beach reference.
He was my dad's, he's gone now. Turned 16, he passed it down. Bought it cheap back in 03 from a dude in a parking lot. Cigarette burns on the bench seat, CCR on CD, and OCB with JBC sticking out of the toolbox. Tearing up State Road 13, young and dumb burning up gasoline. Took the boys down to Jack's Beach, Sublime singing What I Got. In that two-wheel drive, $250,000 it was my white 99 F-150.
I was going to give Jordan a hard time here, but that he actually won me over because you're talking about him mentioning Keystone, and I'm like, all right, a country singer, if he had to choose between what area of town, Fruit Cove or Keystone, he's probably going Keystone. Then you throw in the Jack's Beach reference because you're the younger guy, maybe, and like younger people hang out at Jack's. But you did call out 13, my man.
That's
Repping
good.
Fruit Cove. I like it.
Well, I grew up right off of 13, man, and that has so many memories in it. You know, a lot of my family still lives down there, and that's really where I spent most of my time. Like, so my wife and I actually met at Bartram Trail. Like, we've been together since high school. And literally, I drive. Her parents still live 7 minutes from my mom's house. So, State Road 13 has so many memories for me, like bittersweet and just some of the best ones too. So it's like, I think that's the whole idea about, like, when you write songs about where you're from, there's the things that make you, good, bad, everything in between. And that's kind of what all this music is about. It's really me digging into what makes me me. And of course, I'm going to drop where I grew up, man, because I love it. I think about it all the time. So, I mean, yeah, I got to drop 13 in there in Jack's Beach.
Man, I love Jordan Fletcher until I knew he was a Bartram Trail Bear. I mean, that's it. I mean, we Creekside over here, man. But I can't get away from Bartram Trail. It's everywhere. I'm going
just hung
tonight,
out with him last night and tonight.
I'm going tonight, too. So, Jordan Fletcher with us. How much do you have to be careful to put too much of your roots and mentions? Or can that be problematic? Can you do that too much because you want to make it universal as well, right?
Well, I think so. I've been writing for other folks downtown for about 6 years. So I've got some songs that are cut by other artists, and whenever you're pitching for another artist, you do need to be careful to make sure you're not, putting your mom's name in there and everything like that. Obviously, they're not going to bite on that. But, like, when it comes to me putting out my own stuff, my kind of philosophy on it is, if it's true to me, people will inject their own reality into it. And, like that song Firebird, that's a very specific song about a Firebird my dad bought. He bought that car before he passed away, and we worked on it together. And when I put it out, the same thinking. I was like, well, people may not relate to this because it's a really specific song about a specific vehicle. But I heard a lot of people, they kept calling, or they would comment on the song or whatever, and they would say, man, this reminds me of my uncle's, 87 Sierra, or this reminds me of my grandma's diamond necklace or whatever. And it's like you realize that if you give somebody a piece of truth, they will unknowingly inject their own story into it. And so I kind of am going by that philosophy because I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and it seems to be working.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's the power of music, I think, in a lot of different ways in any genre, and specifically these days in country music. Hey, you dropped out of University of North Florida, UNF. What were you supposed to be doing right now instead of living in Nashville?
I don't know. I told my grandma that I was going to be gone for 3 months.
Whoops.
Here I am.
Whoops.
But, I don't know. School, if I went back, I would have definitely been more intentional with it. But it just, for whatever reason, I was getting drawn up to Nashville, which was crazy too, because I was surfing every day and, fishing and doing that whole thing. I mean, that's how I lived my life. I never imagined in a million years I was going to leave Jacksonville, or at least get away from the coast, much less live in a landlocked state. And so it was pretty random that I ended up coming up here. But I had another buddy in Jacksonville as well that moved up before me, and he's up here. He's a great artist and songwriter. and he kind of he met some folks and was like, "Hey, bud, you should give it a shot." And so on a whim, I just kind of took my bags and my guitar and I headed up north.
You know, I think it's interesting that you're still with someone you grew up with in terms of your wife, but your career choice isn't an easy one to be married into. Have you guys explored all of that where, you know, you're trying to do this whole private life family thing, but also it's not like you're working a 9 to 5 as a musician or a songwriter?
Valentine's Day was Tuesday, man. You putting them on the couch here later in the week. Jeez.
That's funny, man. No, it is. It definitely has its cons for sure, but it does have its pros as well. So, like, if you think about this, like my writing schedule, my writes usually start at 11, and they're usually done by 3. And so if I'm in town, I'm getting a ton of time at home with my family. The hard part is when I'm touring heavily, because then I'm gone for days at a time.
Yeah.
So that's when it's difficult. But, yeah, it's definitely a different way of doing things, but if it works, it can be really great for everybody, you know what I mean? So it's just one of those things that we're in a unique situation, and it seems to be moving in a really cool direction, you know?
Jordan Fletcher with us, local guy up in Nashville, country music recording artist, and his new stuff is coming out March 1st, by the way. Hometowns Don't forget to look him up on YouTube as well, where you can see all his, I listen on iTunes as well, so, or what is it now? Apple Music, sorry, was iTunes?
That's cool.
Apple
You just work for a
Music.
radio station, no big deal.
Yeah, sorry. And other places. I listen to 96.9 The Eagle.
Attaboy.
And ESPN 690. And our cluster
That's right.
doesn't have country music.
All right.
All right. So we don't know those other ones exist here in town. But you're a big Jags fan, man. How fun was that this last season?
Oh, dude, that was a blast, man. Like, getting to see all that. I mean, Lawrence coming through with that. Like, just this whole season has been so much fun to watch. It seemed for a while there, and you know, the relationship with the Jazz can be heartbreaking sometimes. But this year, like, as far as we got, as well as we played, like, we were a force to be reckoned with the whole time, and I couldn't be happier with it. Obviously, you want them to win the whole thing, but at the end of the day, we saw something that we hadn't seen in a decade from the Jags, you know what I mean? So it's like, for me and everybody up here that I get to hang out and watch the games with, it was like such a surreal experience, and we all had a lot of fun with it the whole time.
You played during that Bold City Brigade party, I think, during the Tennessee game, which actually was one of the big turning points of the season. I missed the party because the flight was late, or I missed my flight or something, but Brad Meester showed up that night. Like, what was that like to play for all the Jacksonville folks, for you up in Nashville, doing your thing and kind of tying it all together?
Man, that was surreal as well, because it's like the Jags are such a force of unity with Jacksonville. Because you may know this, it's like Jacksonville being as big of a city as it is, it's hard to get people to come together just because specifically of how large of a city it is. You know, it's not like you can walk across the street and, you know, you're on the other side of town. It's like you've got this giant city. And so the fact that the Jags like unify us so much, and then like meanwhile we're 9 hours away, and we have 250 people crammed into this bar, and we're playing this massive show. It's like, it was so cool, and it was heartwarming, because it was like I was getting to see all these people that I know and love, and these people that I admire and that, you know, couldn't believe I was meeting. And we were all enjoying the same thing, excited for the same thing. So, man, it was unifying, and we were so far away from home, but it felt like y'all brought it to us. You know what I mean? So that was a blast.
Jordan Fletcher hanging out with us here on Brent Friends on ESPN 690. Love having you on, man. Continued success. What does the track look like for you right now? Again, Brent's listening to your stuff. He likes your stuff. Is this a fast track for you when you release this on March 1st and other music to come?
Hitting the road? You touring?
Yeah. Where are you headed next?
So right now, I'm looking for the summer. Looking at the summer, I'm going to be doing a lot of shows. So right now, we're going to start releasing in March, and man, it's going to be probably. I don't want to give too much away, but it will definitely be a lot of music quickly. So it'll be a lot of music in succession. You know, maybe a month or two in between with each release. So I'm real excited to show everybody what we've been working on, because it's been a long time in the making, and we just got a lot of cool stuff that I'm proud of.
We appreciate you checking us out, man. Thanks for jumping in for a few minutes. We're going to play Firebird to break here on Brent Friends on ESPN 690, and Hometowns Don't comes out March 1st. Thanks for sharing the story, and we'll be talking some Jags football and some country music with you down the road, man.
Sounds good, man. Thanks so much for having me. We'll talk at you later.
All right. That is Jordan Fletcher from Bartram Trail High School by way of UNF as well, and then to Nashville, Tennessee. Jacksonville guy trying to make it big up in Nashville.
Yeah, fun journey.
It's interesting. I've run into a couple of different folks that have gone back and forth Nashville to Jacksonville and making it. And you just, like you said, it's saturated up there. It's tough.
Yeah, sure.
You got to really stand out, but country music expert over here.
It sounds like it.
Tells you.
This kid's got a great voice.
Some of this stuff's good.
Yeah, he actually sounds a little bit like Mark Cohen to me.
I can't wait for his new stuff already.
Yeah, coming out
Put him
soon.
high on the list.
Next month.
And would you say we should have him make like the open of the
like
show
an opening
for us?
theme for us? Yeah, instead of ante up with let's get some lyrics written and let's let this guy do it.
I like it. That'd be a good idea.
I'm into it.
Mom on the violin.
Mama Martineau with the solo.
You can check out Firebirds Jordan Fletcher on the YouTube as well. We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Went to Keystone Heights to get a 3-hour drive, drove just fine, but it still needed some fixing like that. Black carpet and leather seats and a drop top and a few things leaked. I wish we could have finished before you had to leave and you left me the keys. You probably would have sold it by now if you were still around, cause it ain't worth the we put in it, but it's still sitting in mama's house. And every once in a while I'll crank it up and see you smile, cause I don't feel you in that gravestone of dirt, but I do when you're on Firebird.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mild tonight, temperatures only dropping into the low to mid 60s, and it'll be a warm Friday, breezy, a mix of clouds and sun tomorrow, and there will be some showers late in the afternoon, but still reaching the low 80s. For the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, proud to offer a huge selection of both lab-grown and natural diamonds at the lowest prices guaranteed.
Hi, this is Stan Nagel for Energy Seal Foam Insulation, reminding you that summer's coming. Give us a call. Save 30% off our summer rates. Call EnergySealToday.com. We spray attics, subfloors, metal buildings. EnergySealToday.com, 888-306-3626.
Attention Dish customers. Dish Network dropped WFOX Fox 30, depriving you of your favorite programs, local news, weather, and sports. Call Dish now at 1-800-333-3474 and tell them to put WFOX Fox 30 back on the air. Don't let Dish keep you from the important news, sports, and entertainment programming you love. Call Dish now at 1-800-333-3474 and then switch to another TV provider.
If you're experiencing domestic violence, Hubbard House is here for you. Access life-saving, life-changing resources by calling 904-354-3114.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Look around you. There's history being made. Has been. Will be. Just something about those blue skies, high banks and high speed, all coming together in one perfect race. And it'll be here sooner than you think. The Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway, February 19th, 2023. Get your tickets now at DayTona500.com.
Well, hello there. I am the Guitar Hotel. I have over 3,000 of the newest slot machines and nearly 200 table games with real cards and real dealers. Come experience my incredible lineup of restaurants, bars, and of course, Hard Rock Live. Or spend a day soaking up the sun in my 18 acres of poolside paradise. I can't wait to meet you. Visit hardrockholly.com to find out more.
If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Have you seen your financial freedom wiped out by stock market volatility? It's Rich Jones. Consider investing in real estate funds from DLP Capital. Don Winter is CEO and founder.
DLP Capital has provided our investors with consistent double-digit returns by investing in cash-flowing residential real estate. For more than a decade, we have had zero losses, little volatility, and have shot above our return targets in all of our investment funds. Plus, we offer monthly distributions and tax shelter opportunities.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial **invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Dave Benyon with Zero Res. It may be cold outside, but at Zero Res, we are heating things up. Right now is the hottest price of the year. 3 rooms of carpet clean for $147, and the 4th room is free. That's right, the 4th room is on me. In 2022, Jacksonville Zero Res was named #1 in the country for customer service. Google Zero Res and read from over 5,000 5-star customer reviews. Remember, February is the hottest price of the year. 3 rooms of carpet clean for $147, and the 4th room is free. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
Will they find a home? Sponsored by Geico. Jane doesn't mind an apartment with no elevator.
5 flights of stairs is 5 plates of cardio.
Bob is a little less enthusiastic about stairs.
I hate stairs.
Compromise is tough, but these two won't have to compromise when they bundle renters and car insurance with Geico. It's easy, and they could save even more. In the end, Jane and Bob found an apartment that's a 4-story walk-up. And Bob?
Yeah, there's a freight elevator she doesn't know about.
What were you talking about?
Oh, nothing.
Bundling without compromise at geico.com.
You're gonna feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to the Brent Friends radio show. Aaron Schachter hanging with you guys. Kasey Kurtz behind the glass. My man. What a show we've had.
Good show.
It's been fun.
It's been fun.
Got a couple of jabs in, a little toxic activity.
A lot of toxic activity.
Just how I like it.
Good show. Good off-season show.
Oh, is that what you're kind of qualifying it?
No, I'm just saying it's the off-season. It's a good off-season show. Because we probably wouldn't be doing the shenanigans during the season.
I mean, that's fair, but it also feels like you're kind of, it's not good for a regular show.
No,
it's good for an off-season.
It's a good show. We'll check with the consultants or whoever listens to the show. Yeah.
Cool.
The people in charge.
The fans are the consultants on this show.
Yeah, and we've got good response, especially about the chum bucket thing.
Yeah, that's literally, and that, by the way, that's in my What Did I Learn Today?
The chum bucket?
Which I have a few. So if we're going to go late with this segment, Case, you got to tell me to stop because we got What Did I Learn, and we got to give away some gift cards and stuff.
Oh, right. Yes.
Because I'm cheap, apparently.
$5 gift cards.
So
hold on to your hats, folks.
You and Bert were in Arizona last week for the Super Bowl.
We were.
And you guys were planning on going to see that Waste Management golf tournament.
We were. I made it eventually.
What happened to Brent?
He was lazy.
Was it a lazy thing?
It was a lazy thing.
Doesn't seem like a lazy guy to me.
Yeah, it was real lazy. It was a real lazy play from Martineau. Listen, he likes to pretend he's not lazy, but that was definitely some laziness coming out.
Well, this certainly doesn't feel unfair with him not in the room, but that's okay.
It's tough.
It's fine. Listen.
Stay for the whole show if you want to defend yourself.
Here's what you and Brent missed at the Waste Management golf tournament out in, Scottsdale?
Scottsdale.
There was another streaker.
Really?
At a major sporting event.
Oh, I'm sure this made you excited.
Oh, my God, yes. Anytime now I see a streaker video, I'm like, we have to bring this to the show and break it down. Because sometimes, like we saw in that Rams streaker video with the pink smoke,
yes,
you get a nice pop. But sometimes the streaker wins. There was one recently that we didn't do that I wanted to do, but the guy looked kind of suspect. I forget what it was. It was one of these like Barstool adjacent guys who got in trouble at some sporting event. But he won that one. You guys have seen it before. A streaker will get on the field, start running around. Then it'll get to the point where they're like, I don't know what to do next, and the cops aren't here yet.
Yep.
That often will happen to a streaker when he wins. You really have to go in with 3 game plans. You got to go in with the short game plan. Like as soon as you hit the field, if you see the boys coming to attack, you got to go to plan A. But if you hit the field and no one's reacting right away, go to plan B.
Mm-hmm.
Get a nice little medium plan. But you need like a audible at the end of plan B if you're still out there and everyone's still looking at you and no one's coming to get you.
I agree with that.
I think that's what the problem was with this streaker we're about to break down. For those of you listening by a computer or a phone, go ahead and pull up our video stream. You'll be able to see this video as we talk about it. For those of you on the radio, we'll do our best to explain what it is you're looking at. So we open up the video with our streaker basically running on the green. I think it was the 16th or 17th hole.
16th.
Now, on the streaker's back are the words 19th hole. I think he was talking about his own person and not the golf course. But that's fine. The man can make his own rules if he wants. He enters the frame on the green next to the flag, arms stretched out in a loving, figurative embrace of the crowd. You think the crowd at the Waste Management Phoenix Open, we're happy to see this streaker?
I think in the environment, and if you don't know about the 16th hole at TPC Scottsdale, it is the Coliseum, if you will. You're allowed to be loud. You're allowed to be rowdy. That's the point of the hole.
Oh, so this kind of fits the tournament.
This fits exactly. So I'm sure that the streaker probably was met with some applause immediately. Now, granted, I'm sure that most viewers were wishing he had more clothes on.
He's out there in a Speedo that essentially is made to look like jorts that have been cut very high.
Yeah.
Very high jort cut.
Not leaving much to think about.
Yeah, imagine if a Florida Gator fan was from Europe. That's what this bathing suit looks like. So the streaker approaches the pin in the cup on the 17th hole or 16th hole, whatever, on the 16th hole. You're confirming that for me.
I'm confirming.
As he approaches the hole, he does a little bit of a dance move. He drops it like it's hot.
Oh, he's dropping it.
As you would expect to see, fingers stretched up into the air.
Oh, yes.
He does a nice move where he spins around, wraps his leg a little bit.
Now that's talent.
Maybe you would have caught this guy at one of the exotic dance clubs in Arizona practicing his bit before he got to the Waste Management Phoenix Open.
He full spun.
He really did.
On the pole there.
And also did a little bit of arm work, encouraging the fans to join in.
Oh, look at that. He's trying to fire up the crowd as he moves away from the pin.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's happy with the amount of engagement from the crowd, though, right? Like, he's asking for more. He wants more love, more applause.
Please encourage me to go to jail.
For his naked hijinks. So there he goes, running over the green. He's just basically doing a lap now, encouraging the crowd to be louder and louder. And I think as he comes back towards the pin, he has spotted security. Yeah, and you can tell the hands go down. You know who Naruto is? You ever see the Naruto run?
Yeah.
These kids will put their head down, put their arms behind their back, and just start taking off.
Yeah.
This guy kind of looks like he's preparing to go into a Naruto run. He's got his mouth agape, too. He's like, oh, boy.
He is yes, security has been spotted because the mouth is open.
And by the way,
he's going full mouth breather at this point.
We've mentioned the jorts bikini. We have not mentioned the feathered, gorgeous mullet this man is rocking on the golf course.
It's a full Billy Ray Cyrus.
It really is, and it flows in the air when he's running like a wild horse.
It's good hair. It's hair you wish you had.
Man.
Did you have hair like this before you?
Of course not.
Okay, just checking.
Of course. I came out of the womb balding. This man has like a mink coat on top of his head. And the words Max Savage, his name, emblazoned on his chest and abdomen. He has spotted the security, mouth open, arms fixed back in a Naruto run pose. And here we go, folks. Oh! The security guard runs into frame. This man jukes.
Oh, poor Buckethead didn't stand a chance right here.
Really, Buckethead security guard looks like a fool in this one.
Oh, he's getting juked. He's getting yoked.
We've got the frame frozen mid-juke. You can actually see the definition in the quad muscle on Max Savage. Really out there. Arms in the air, legs to the right, torso to the left. Absolutely dusts
real
bucket hat security guy.
Real farmer's tan on the legs, by the way. Does not match the up or the arms or the bottom legs.
No.
I mean, you are seeing some pale legs right there.
But this man is about to get smoked. So, Max Savage smokes the security guard, literally breaks the tackle.
He did it. He's got his arm up in the air
And he's got the number one raised in
I've-
the air. He's like, I've broken the tackle.
He said, I've won.
Basically. He's still running. Oh, he's got the arm. He's got the hand up to his ear a la Hulk Hogan. He needs more crowd engagement. Folks, you must be cheering this guy on if you're there. If we ever get the opportunity to cheer on a streaker here in Jacksonville, like this man, Max Savage, folks, we have to do our part.
Yes.
We have to be all in.
I would also like to add the security guard that got juked is easily 60 years old.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I don't think so. He's moving much more spry than a 60-year-old. I think the problem is the security guard is wearing khakis and a belt and a polo shirt and a long sleeve shirt and a bucket hat, and all of that is encumbering his movement. And Max Savage is out here in bikini jorts and a feathery mullet with Oakleys, and he's like a gazelle.
He did. He really eated him.
He is flying.
Oh, boy.
So we continue the video. Mac is at top speed. Finger still raised in the air.
Security guard's cooking.
He's making his way towards the next course's green.
Oh, boy.
And the security guard just about gives up. Just about gives up. Completely not in the frame anymore. Mac is now slowed to a leisurely jog.
Oh.
He makes it to the water. He makes it to the water trap and looks at it and does the belly flop.
Oh,
Max Savage into the drink.
My goodness.
Into the drink like many a golf ball. So here's Max Savage in the water. Still no cops.
Yeah, where is anybody? Why is there only one security guard on this man? This
no
man's been on the
cops.
course for multiple minutes, pole danced with the pin, juked a security guard,
I mean,
ran
seriously
to
juked him.
a different hole, and is now in the water trap,
Swimming.
belly flopped.
Yes.
And you are still not entertained because he needs more crowd noise.
And here's what I'm talking about, Kasey. This is the part where he doesn't know what to do anymore. He's got nothing left on the plan.
He didn't think he was getting this far.
No, he got to the water and didn't know what to do, so he did the belly flop. It was a good improvisation. Great improv.
In his mind, when he comes out of the water, he's in jail.
I mean, I thought in his mind, as soon as he hit the cup, he was going to be in jail.
Well, that's fair, too.
But it didn't happen that way. Everything moves a little bit slower in Arizona, I think.
That's fair.
So here he is just dancing in the water at this point. Arms still raised, asking for more love from the crowd. We go to a different camera angle.
Oh, my God.
We go to a different camera angle, and Max Savage is now climbing onto the WM logo, which stands for Waste Management, who's sponsoring the Phoenix Open. And he's gassed. I mean, you can see he's on his hands and knees, head down. He is tired. He has swam to the middle of this water trap, and he is gassed. He's been running and juking and swimming.
I mean, for those on the radio, this is a full-on lake. Like, this is what you would see at golf tournaments where there's usually one of these at every tournament where you've got this lake and you've got the floating logo in the middle. So you can imagine that. Our guy, Mac, is now climbing on the floating logo. He is in the middle of the tournament, in the water, on the logo, and now fans from all holes and all places of the course have caught on because the video we're looking at now is like 4 people deep from the front row of the water.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone wants the front view of old Max Savage.
Max Savage is killing it. This guy's my hero today. And by the way, if you could hear the audio of the video, which we're not giving to you on the air, but if you could hear the audio, the crowd was behind him.
They should have
And
been.
maybe they weren't as much as he wanted. He clearly wanted more from them.
Well, I mean, if you're still going at this point, yeah.
But they were behind him. They were cheering for him when he's juking security. They were cheering for him on the belly flop, and then they gave him a raucous round of applause when he finally stands up on the WM for Waste Management with his arms up in the air. But here's the problem, Case. Where are the cops? You still don't see any security.
There has still only been one security guard anywhere even close to Max Savage. And my question now comes in, not knowing how this video ends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now if you're a police officer, the only way you're getting him is via boat.
Yeah.
or you're swimming in the nasty waste management water.
So that's where I think we're at this point. I think Max Savage is like, I don't know what to do here. I don't have anything else planned, but nobody, and I mean nobody, is coming to get me.
You have to feel pretty safe if you've made it to this point.
I mean, the amount of people who are coming to get Max Savage barely rival a 2004 Jaguars game. Like, there is nobody in the world of Max Savage. And so I think he realizes this. And to your point, Kasey, about the end of this video, Max Savage, he does a little dance on the Waste Management logo, but then we'll cut to the next shot, and here he is exiting the pond, and now you can see Johnny Law.
Yeah.
You got, how many guys you think you got there as Max Savage is exiting the drink? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I count 10-ish, 11-ish uniformed police officers. I see some bikes there. Maybe they called in reinforcements from a neighboring town. But they are all there for Mr. Savage's exit out of the drink. Nobody wanted to jump in the water.
So now this brings me to some questions about Max Savage. Now listen, you had a great run. And listen, it had to end at some point, but this feels a little weak, Mac.
Well, here's the thing. Mac doesn't want to hurt law enforcement. He's not trying to put anyone's life in danger. He's just trying to become famous. So as Mac exits the drink, they pull him up nice and easy, and very easily goes on his knees, hands behind his back, and no other issues occurred for Max Savage. No tasing, which I would have appreciated, Mac. I mean, if you're really going to go in 100%, if you're really going to leave it all out there on the field, you got to get tased, bro. The kid at UNF did it. Not UNF, UF. Don't tase me, bro. You remember that guy?
Yep.
He became a superstar.
Yeah.
And that was before the age of the internet.
That's fair.
Had we had a don't tase me, bro moment with Max Savage, it might have been in my pantheon of streaker videos. He might have made my Mount Rushmore of streaker videos.
You just can't give up that easy.
And we do have some local Jacksonville guys who do this stuff, but Max Savage, I think, is the one you aim for. If you're out there planning a streak, Max Savage is the guy you look up to. You go, one day
I could be Max Savage.
If I practice, if I eat the right foods, if I get the right feathery mullet haircut, if I go to the Levi or Wrangler store and find myself a beautiful pair of jorts-style bikini briefs, one day I'll be able to wear these UV-protected Oakleys on maybe the Island Green at 17. Or anywhere where people would get to see me dance and dance some more and belly flop and then swim and then wait and wait and wait for the police to show up and arrest me. Max Savage, by the way, fast forward a couple of hours, brought to jail, immediately had in place a T-shirt with his mugshot. I'm not sure how he got the mugshot to his boys. But the boys are all about the cash. Oh, yeah.
That's great.
The T-shirt was available that night. Dude sold 10,000 of them.
Good work by the boys, though. You always got to be ready.
I mean, if you're going to go to jail, you got to make it worth it.
I agree with that.
You got to make money from the opportunity.
I agree with that. By the way, Daniel on YouTube says, Max Savage must be a Florida man.
He certainly looks like it, right?
Certainly does.
I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say, Mac, if you're not from Florida, you've got like an honorary citizenship.
Yeah, you can slide through.
We will go ahead and put you on the roster, bro.
You will.
You
Especially
go ahead.
With the hair?
You can swim in our alligator-filled lake outside this radio studio anytime, bruh.
We're not advising it. We're just saying you can do it.
I am advising it.
You
ain't a real man, Mac.
Okay.
Unless you're out here swimming with the gators. Great job.
What do you think kind of nasty stuff was in that water?
That at the Waste Management Phoenix Open?
Right. But also like the chemicals and Mac might start growing things off his body.
He may have collected a few golf balls.
That would have been the move.
No pockets on those jort bikinis, though.
That's fair.
Only one way to stash them, and nobody wants that. What's the matter, Kasey? Just having fun.
Yep. Oh, goodness.
Brent Friends radio show. We've had a fun time today. We learned a lot of stuff. At least I did. Did you learn a lot of stuff?
I guess we'll find out next.
All right. What did I learn coming up next? If you want to join us for What Did I Learn? 904-362-9901. Tell us something you learned on the show today. You win yourself $25 to Donkey, courtesy of your boy Aaron, who's got great friends over at Donkey. 904-362-9901. Brent and Friends be right back after this on ESPN 690.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjax.com.
Jacksonville is a great place to live. And if you love where you live, you should invest in it. That's why more and more people bank with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. We invest every penny back into North Florida, backing the very best small businesses, nonprofits, and of course the family home. Why put your money with some big out-of-state bank when you can invest in where you love to live? One-to-One Financial, we're your hometown credit union. Sign up today at one-to-one-fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person who'd hired another law firm. The insurance company had offered them $11,000, but we said, let's take another look. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. All law firms are not the same, and just because you already hired a firm, that doesn't mean you can't fire that firm. Luckily, this client did. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Start the new year off with worry-free water. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. The experts at CGC Water Treatment will test your water for free and provide solutions that are right for you and your family, like they've done for my family for over 5 years. Imagine having clean, clear, purified water at your home. No more plastic bottles, no more waste, just great tasting, purified water that you can trust. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. That's 904-552-1242. Financing options available with approved credit. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment. Your authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1428211.
All offers are with approved credit and not in conjunction. See dealer for complete details. President's Day sales event.
Now is the time to trade in and trade up to the car, truck, or SUV you'd rather be driving. From Jacksonville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Arlington. Save big on 2022 Chargers, Challengers, and Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xEs. Choose from a great selection and save $6,000 off MSRP. The road to adventure starts at 9600 Atlantic Boulevard. Come in for a test drive today. Get up to $5,500 off any 2022 Cherokee. Save up to $10,000 on a new 2022 Gladiator.
Aren't you glad?
Inventory's up. See them at #1CJD.com. Good credit, less than perfect credit. Our goal is 100% credit approval all month long. Underwater on your current car loan? We can help. Bring us your trade. Running or not, we will pay cash for it. Jacksonville Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, Arlington. 9600 Atlantic Boulevard, across from that Regency Square Mall.
Anyone with a pet knows that they're truly a member of the family. I know my family and I would go above and beyond for our black pug Arlo, which is what the best veterinary practices understand. People need to be able to trust whose hands they're putting their pets into. So when they're looking for a new veterinary practice, one of the first things they do is look at the practice's online reviews. At Cox Media Group, we help ensure that your online reputation and reviews are strong. So let's embark on improving your digital reputation. Head to cmg.com to find out more so we can see how Cox Media Group can help you boost your website's traffic.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Jacksonville.
Earn more at Community First Credit Union. We make it easy with great rates, fewer fees, and accounts that deliver returns, like CDs and IRAs. With short and long-term options, we can help you reach your goals now and in the future. So save confidently and just be yourself with Community First. Add an account now at communityfirstfl.org. Community First Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
American Window Products offers free low-E coating on select windows at an affordable price that can help reduce your energy usage with 12 months zero-interest financing. Visit AmericanWindowProducts.com for a free estimate.
Financing available at time of sale for new orders only.
Brent and Friends is sponsored by Best Bet, now open in St. Augustine.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Welcome back to the Brent Friends radio show. Let's jump right in with What Did I Learn? Tell me something you learned on the radio show today. If you want to join in, try and win yourself a $25 gift card to Dunkin'. 904-362-9901. That's 904-362-9901. Case, let's go to line one. Who do we got? Daniel?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
How's it going, guys?
What's up, buddy?
So I learned today that I have a new hero named Mac.
Mac Savage.
Man, that is amazing. I love the breakdown. I also learned that your co-hosts there are kill things, like spinning the tires and make sure your nuts are lined up. I think that's supposed to be duck and kicking the tires.
Got it.
But that Max Savage video just made
really threw you off. Yeah, you're all frazzled from Max Savage's glistening body.
I had not seen the full video until you just played it. Oh, I also learned that it is a good thing that neither of your co-hosts take drinks while you were doing your play-by-play. Because that was awesome, man.
Would have resulted in a lot of spit-out drinks. We appreciate you playing along, Daniel. Thank you so much, man. We go to line 2, where Brent is on the phone. And it's not the Bert we know and love. It's a new Bert. What's up, man?
Hey.
What did you learn today?
A bunch of things. One, that Brent Martineau's apparently lazy.
Yes.
And lacked a sense of adventure in going to the golf tournament.
That's right.
Perhaps he
That's
didn't
right.
have the correct underwear for the event.
Better underwear than Max Savage had.
The other thing is Mr. Savage knows how to make a buck.
That's true.
T-shirt sales.
That's true.
And he even got his bail paid, apparently by an underwear company.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Look at you, man. Why don't we put Bert on hold for a little bit? You can get his info. He may end up winning, especially if we have no other callers here. Case, I learned a few things too, man. Did you happen to learn anything today?
Why don't you go first?
All right. I learned fairly early in the show that your career spans a year and a half, a whole 18 months. And in all that time, the thing you're most proud of doing in your entire radio career is making one SpongeBob reference on the show.
Yes.
So proud of that. Yes. Also, I learned that the Colts have interviewed 457 people this offseason, including Cox Media Group Security, who, by the way, is a finalist for their quarterback.
Nice.
That's from Bert. That was a rumor that he's thrown out there as an NFL insider. I learned that Jordan Fletcher is a real dude who not only reps Keystone and Jack's Beach, but he throws down for the 32259, St. Johns County Thug Life, repping State Road 13.
Great.
I also learned with every home run in the second inning at a St. Johns County Country Day game, you get a pallet of Brent Friends room temperature water to jazz up your festivities.
Yes.
And then the final thing I learned was if my play-by-play partner, Frank, doesn't get an oatmeal bath, he gets very ornery in the booth. So.
Here's what I learned today.
Oh, cool.
Whether Brent Martineau likes it or not, we're going to start a fight with you-know-who.
Oh.
And I can't wait for it.
You think it's undeniable?
I think it's undeniable. And I think your broadcast partner's lacking a little bit there.
It's
so
fine.
I think that's going to start the fight.
Look, I am a pot stirrer from back in the day.
And that's why I love you.
One thing you got to know about me, I make friends quickly, and then I make enemies a lot quicker.
We'll get the gloves out, because we're going. Oh, I almost lost my ring.
It's been a fun show, man. Thanks to you, the listener, hanging out with us on Brent and Friends today. We'll cap the week off tomorrow on ESPN 690. It's the Brent and Friends radio show. Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, Kasey Kurtz. We bid you adieu.
Let's do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Do ball.
Thanks, Doug Peterson. Have a good night, everybody.
Look through your children's eyes to see the true magic of a forest. It's a storybook world for them. You look and see a tree. They see the wrinkled face of a wizard with arms outstretched to the sky. They see treasure in pebbles. They see a windy path that could lead to adventure. And they see you. their fearless guide through this fascinating world.
Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinsky. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 904-664-8214. 904-664-8214. That's 904-664-8214.
The experts at Wake Off's Cooling and Heating can help you save big, replacing your aging heating and cooling system with a new one backed by an incredible up to 10-year worry-free warranty, and have it installed as soon as the next day. Put zero down and have zero payments until 2024. Don't wait. Get a new heating and cooling system from Wake Offs and save. Book fast at wakeoffeasybook.com or call 904-204-3214.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau. Check out Action Sports Jacks weekdays from 3 until 6 on ESPN 690.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
What's up? It's Kasey. Check out the podcast Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, wherever you get your podcast.
Sports Center. I'm Doug Brown. Tiger Woods is playing his first PGA Tour event since the Open Championship last July. Woods is even par after 10 holes in the first round of an event he hosts, the Genesis Invitational. It's live right now on ESPN+. The Celtics make it official. Joe Mazzulla, now the team's head coach. He'll get a contract extension. Mazzulla has been the interim coach since Ime Udoka was suspended in September. The Celtics have the best record in the NBA at 42-17. The All-Star break starts tomorrow. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver comments on dealing with officials who make mistakes during games.
They are absolutely held accountable. We don't publicize discipline for officials. We don't think that would be appropriate, but their assignments are affected by the quality of their calls. Whether or not they progress into the playoffs and then round by round is impacted by the accuracy of their calls and their demeanor on the floor.
Adam Silver, the NHL Players Association officially hires U.S. Labor Secretary Marty Walsh as its new executive director.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Come join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet Mike Lester.
Even if you're down right now, we should be having a conversation about investments that will do well in a recession, that will do well in a bad economy. We shouldn't be talking about hanging in there. And Kristen, the number one call we get week after week is my advisor or my firm has been telling me to hang in there. And that strategy has now lost me 20+% in the market.
Find out more at guardingyournestegg.com.
Ellen Private Wealth LLC. Investing in stock markets involves the risk of loss, and there is no guarantee that all or any capital invested will be repaid. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results.
Koala Insulation.
Hey, this is Bruce.
And I'm Carrie.
We're the owners of Koala Insulation. It's a great time of year to invest in energy-efficient improvements to your home. With our competitive rates and new tax credits for insulation upgrades, you can get huge savings to improve your insulation today and see long-term savings every month going forward.
Give us a call and set up your free evaluation at 679-6282 or find us online at koalainsulation.com.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
So you remember how yesterday we joked about the aliens taking over, invading, coming to Earth, all those things? We thought it was a joke. Maybe it's real life. Wouldn't that be something? We have an alien-themed show planned for you. Not the specifics. Just what would happen if aliens were to come to Earth. Some conversations you'd have to have with them. What sports teams you would direct them in the attention of, I guess you could say. So an alien-themed show on a Thursday. Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton, ESPN 690. Brian Middleton's the broadcast Don. Most days, he's the master of the poll.
See if you don't give it attention.
Well,
it falls flat.
I expect you to say pause.
You know what, Kasey? I'm more mature than that. Who
Are
says
ya?
pause or something like that, man?
You.
It's 2023.
Every time.
Yeah, I do. You're right. Run it back. Say it again.
Brian Middleton, the master of the poll.
Pause, dog. Pause. Like, man, calm down with all that, man.
But not today. Took a day off from all that. And we'll give you a poll tomorrow, which is a good one, which we will discuss today. It's a little pre-poll action, if you will. We got that coming up for you. We have some talk about the Jags coaching staff that I don't know if it may be changing, but another interview for Jim Bob Cooter. Could that change things of how the Jags look, potentially? And a new segment that we don't even want to give you too much about right now because Brian Middleton has spent weeks preparing, and we want you to be surprised. So we'll do that in the next segment of the show. But right now, we keep with the alien theme. And Brian Middleton brought this idea to me, and it is a fascinating one, Brian. So pretty much what you said was, by the way, with the pre-information that Brian Middleton spends most of his days down at WOKV doing the traffic, keeping you safe. And there may have been some talk about aliens down there today. So Brian says to me, if the aliens did invade and they were sliding through, and in this scenario, the aliens are nice, we had to point them in the direction of a sports franchise over the last few years that has been the best, that has been dominant. Where would you point them in that direction? And I said, that is a good question. Brian Middleton, you presented me with the teams that were who?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Good
Golden
one.
State Warriors.
That's another good one.
And the Houston Astros.
Yeah.
4 options.
All from different sports, obviously. All really good options. I've compiled some stats for you. First off, how do we want to do it? I think we should go team by team. Do you have a vote? Do you have an answer that you would go with?
You know, Kasey, I do. But I got to tell you, man, you know, mine is going to be more of a passionate plea as opposed to how you're going to break it down with facts. I got a couple of stats I'm sure I can pull up on the, while we're going back and forth. But I got a passionate plea as opposed to how you're about to effectively dissect this down.
So I'm very interested to see your play here. And here's something that's interesting to me when I pulled the numbers. when you say it and you say the teams that are in the running, as you just did, the Astros from Major League Baseball, the Lightning from hockey, the Chiefs from football, and the Warriors from basketball, and immediately when you brought up those teams, I was like, well, it has to be the Warriors. It just has to be the Warriors because it feels like they've been so dominant for so long, and it is somewhat true. Out of those teams that we gave you, no team has won more championships than the Warriors. And we will start here, Brian Middleton, the Warriors, in the span. So what I did was over the last 8 full seasons, so the Warriors season that is currently being played, as well as the Lightning season that is currently being played, is not in the running. So the Warriors have made the playoffs in 6 of the last 8 full seasons. In that time, they have won 4 championships, which is more than any of the other teams that we will talk about, 4 championships, and they won a total of 429 games. They also have something that only one other team has on here, and that is a season that goes down in the record books in terms of what they did in the regular season. The Warriors were 73-9. They broke all kinds of records. So you've got the 4 titles. You've got 6 playoff appearances and 8 tries, 429 wins, and 1 all-time season. Does your vote go to the Golden State Warriors?
No, it does not.
Really?
It does not. Because in the iteration of the question that me and you kind of discussed on the fly, I said, the last 5 to 6 years. And though the Warriors have had a run, I think they're still in the midst of their kind of dynastic go, even though it's not, 2016, 17, 18. 5 years ago was 2018. And by that time, they had already lost to LeBron one time.
Oh.
And they had to go get Kevin Durant. And I'm not getting into all the minutia of those details. I'm just saying Golden State would not be my first pick if I'm talking to an extraterrestrial being to say, hey, go check out this game. Check out the cheap ticket report from Kasey Kurtz. See which one, works with your pockets because, we don't take anything but the dollar here. Maybe if, you got someone, not Bitcoin. If you got some Apple Pay or something, maybe. But, after you figure out which, game you want to go to, then this is the team you got to go check it out.
Now you're asking the hard-hitting questions about the currency that the aliens use.
Yeah.
That's a conversation for another time, but It is a good one. Let's move on to the next team. That's the Kansas City Chiefs. Out of the last 8 seasons, the Kansas City Chiefs have made the playoffs 8 times. They have won 2 championships, and they have 97 wins.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of wins.
It's a lot.
Double digit in every year that we pulled out of the last 8. 2 titles, they lost another. And an underrated stat here, as I gave you with Golden State, who had an all-time season there at one time. The Chiefs in these 8 years started with Alex Smith, drafted Patrick Mahomes, and turned Patrick Mahomes into the greatest quarterback, potentially, that has ever played. Definitely the best quarterback that is currently playing. 8 for 8, 2 titles, 97 wins, and a quarterback transition from a very serviceable Alex Smith to a baby goat Patrick Mahomes. Do the Kansas City Chiefs have your pick?
It's close. I mean, over the past 5 years, that's when Patrick Mahomes, like you just said, he just started. That year, his rookie year, he didn't. He sat. He was, behind Alex Smith. And then, since then, half a decade, all he knows is the AFC Championship games. That's all he knows.
Yeah.
And my answer is a resounding no.
Wow.
No.
Wow. Let's move on to the NHL and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
So you're not going to tell me your pick?
No.
Till you hit mine?
No, I'm just going to go through all of them, then I'll tell you.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
The Tampa Bay Lightning in the NHL have made the playoffs in 7 of the last 8 seasons. If you listen to the show, you know I am a fan of the Tampa Bay Lightning. I will not tell you if this is my vote or not. I'm just telling you that I am a fan. 7 of the 8 seasons they have made the playoffs. They have won 2 titles in that stretch of those 8 years, coming in back-to-back seasons. They have 384 wins in that time. And for note, the little note that you have is they also had a season like the Golden State Warriors that was an all-time season in terms of wins and points in the NHL. So, the least wins out of anybody outside of Kansas City, who obviously only plays 16, 17 times a year in this thing. You have baseball, who's played the most, and then you have basketball and hockey, which play the closest. They have 384. Just to remind you, the Warriors had 429. But 384 wins in the last 8 years, 8 full seasons, 2 titles. They lost one back in the first year that I pulled these numbers, so the 8 years back, you're looking at more of a 5-year window. But do the Tampa Bay Lightning have your vote?
Well, because you only have the 2 options left, why don't you read the last team, and then I'll give you my answer.
That's a good
Some suspense.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
The last team is the Houston Astros, who banged on trash cans. But playoffs in 7 of the last 8 seasons. 2 titles in those seasons. 711 wins in those seasons. But one title that they got is more or less stripped away. People had to get fired. People had to lose their jobs. People banged on trash cans to let them know that they cheated. So, with that evidence given you, the only team to make the playoffs in every single one of these years was the Kansas City Chiefs. The Warriors actually made it the least amount of times, but the Warriors won the most titles. The most wins goes to the Houston Astros. Brian Middleton, the Astros, the Lightning, the Chiefs, or the Warriors? Where are you sending the aliens?
I'm sending them to H-Town, baby. I'm sending them to the Houston Astros. The Houston Astros is America's team.
No, they are
and
not.
You want to know why, Kasey? Because they're the definition of perseverance. What's the thing I was saying about LeBron James when he was taking what was rightfully his, the all-time scoring leader?
You did say that.
I was talking about his ability to persevere.
Yeah.
I was talking about some of the great people's ability to persevere in their career and their endeavors in order to come out on the other side better and on top. And that's what Houston did. Astros, everybody was downgrading them. People were heckling. People were booing them. They couldn't wait for the season to come around, after they won that championship, quote unquote, and it was stripped of them because they were like, you cheaters. I don't care that this wasn't the first time you guys made the playoffs or an ALCS or made a deep playoff run. You cheaters, you can't do it again. And all they've done is do it again and do it again and do it again. Now, maybe they haven't won, but I tell you what, most of these other little boo-boo trash teams in the major leagues, they ain't even getting nearly as far. Maybe they should start cheating. But my point is this. When the chips are down, when you're down and out, when people are kicking you in your ribs, and you're like, oh, my goodness, can it get any worse? And it gets worse. The Astros have shown the ability, the propensity, Kasey Kurtz, to get through that and get back to the top. You can't doubt this next World Series. You can't doubt this last one. You can't. You can try all you want to. You could be like, maybe they've got, silent drums now. Maybe they got, eardrums now or something like that. But I tell you what, Kasey, I would send the aliens to Houston. One, as a thanks for, since they just met me and they didn't try to make me become a servant or a slave or something like that, or just, blow up my neighborhood. I'd be like, yo, thank you. Let me show you the embodiment of what it means to be an American. We persevere, we overcome, we overtake the Houston Astros. Now, I ain't watched one of their games in you know what I'm saying? Like, when the regular season games, I ain't watched one of the regular season games, and I can't tell you when.
But you should go, aliens.
You should go because you get to see.
I hear it's nice.
You get to see.
They have a little train in their stadium and everything.
I'm almost certain that someone will get you a suite. I'm almost certain they're not just going to put you in general population. So
don't they call that the Space City, Houston? Is that a thing?
Maybe. Oh, yeah, because Houston, we have a problem. NASA.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that actually might be where they slide through first.
Yeah, first stop at NASA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk with them. Okay. I don't know what you got to do, but check in. So the Houston Astros, Kasey Kurtz, who you got?
It's a good pick, and they would probably be second on my list. And I'll tell you why I didn't pick the teams I picked before I tell you who I picked. The Lightning should have won more championships. It's just as simple as that. The year that they won all the games and set the record, they got swept in the first round. Okay, they did not, for the core they had for that time, which is why the title became so important when they did win it. It was like the relief. Like, you finally won when you should have. So I can't pick the Lightning. I'm not picking the Warriors because, 2 years ago, we kind of forget, and it goes to your perseverance thing, but, they won 15 games in a full season. That was bad. It was really bad. And, yeah, perseverance, I get it. Everybody was hurt, okay, but I'm not picking the Warriors. I'm just not doing it. And then it comes down to the Astros and the Chiefs. And as much as the Astros annoy me, even though it probably still shouldn't, I'm not picking them.
You flip-flopper. You fence rider. Dare he actually say what I think he's about to say, folks?
I would tell the aliens, if you had to go to a spot right now to the most successful franchise going, I would send them to the city that maybe is in Kansas and maybe is in Missouri. But it's the Kansas City Chiefs. Haven't missed the playoffs since 2015. Couple of titles, 10 or more wins in every year since 2015, and every year but one since 2013. And don't sleep on this part of the story because I think this is fascinating. They had Alex Smith. Things were fine. As I look at it right here, 11 wins, 12 wins, 10 wins, all playoffs under Alex Smith. And they said, you know what we could do? Get better. And they traded up and drafted Patrick Mahomes. And since Patrick Mahomes has been there, you know the deal. Conference championship, or they lost the conference championship. Super Bowl, lost conference championship, Super Bowl. Like, it's just, I give them the edge because of the I'm not going to settle. We're not going to get complacent. We are going to go and trade up and get this guy and let him sit. Not sit. Don't even look at the field. Get the clipboard. If Alex needs some water, you get him some water. For a whole year. And look what happened. I mean, they have 97 wins in just the regular season in the last 8 years. And then you just go to this year, which the aliens just missed the parade, by the way. I'm pretty sure that was today or yesterday. So
yesterday.
Sorry about that, guys. But maybe next year. And
is that a prediction?
No.
Okay.
Maybe. And then you go into this year, and you have a whole Tyreek Hill. The guy who, as I look at this list, was their leading receiver a lot of these years in these past 8 seasons that I've been telling you about. They said, you know what? We're good. I mean, we're all set. We don't need to pay this guy. We got a whole Travis Kelce. There's other free agent wide receivers out there that nobody's really ever heard of, but we're going to bring them in. It's fine. We're going to run the football with the guy we drafted in the 7th round. I mean, come on. And they win the title. It's got to be the Chiefs. It's got to be the Chiefs. The model of consistency in this argument, the only team that's made the playoffs in every single season that we looked at or that I looked at. 100% conversion percentage of getting to the playoffs is something. I got to go with the Chiefs, man. I got to go with the Chiefs.
Okay.
Why are you so disappointed?
I'm not disappointed in the pick. I'm disappointed in the picker. All I heard leading up to the Super Bowl is how good Philadelphia was. All I've heard, since Jalen Hurts had come onto the field and Philly was doing their thing this season, I tried to put Kansas City at number 1, and I put them at number 1 on these power rankings, and you would just be like, "Ain't no way. How can any sane person do this? Kansas City, all right. That's all I got for them at number 4."
Yeah.
And now look at you.
That does sound like me.
Telling aliens to go to Kansas City. Why don't you tell them to go to Philly? I don't care if it's not an option. Break the rules. You love them so much. You're a true blue Philly fan.
This goes into my thought, by the way. Philly was the better team. They lost. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs were down 10 to a better football team and won. That goes into it. I still think they're the better team, and they lost. Ain't that something? But here's one thing you don't mess with. And I believe everything I say.
That's a lie.
I believe everything I say.
Okay.
And I also believe that if the chips are down and the aliens are asking me where to go, I'm sending them to Kansas City because that's a damn good franchise.
Aliens have a zapper at your head because I don't know what kind of, I don't know if they use guns or whatever.
Feels
they
like
have a
it would be
zapper
a
at your
zapper.
head.
Yeah.
Okay? And they tell you before this Super Bowl, hey, listen, this next Super Bowl, right? So they just won this game. Kansas City did.
You're talking about the 2024 Super Bowl.
Sure, but they play it tomorrow. We're just gonna play it again.
Oh.
We're gonna fast forward time. We got that kind of technology. We can fast forward time to the next day.
I got you.
We got the Super Bowl, and we just chose Kansas City and the Eagles as constructed again right now in this game. Who you going with?
Philly.
Yeah, okay. Man, keep Kansas City name out your mouth.
I
You know what I'm
just
saying?
gave them
keep
6
them out your
straight
mouth.
minutes
Nah,
of
man, I'm
praise.
good, fam. I'm good.
As currently constructed, they're still better.
And then you didn't even
On paper.
You boo-booed on the Lightning?
I did.
Was that 2017 when they won all those games? I remember one year I was covering Orlando stuff, and
I think so.
Down there, the ESPN station is they're the Lightning station right there. So they play all the games, and so I would give the updates. And I remember being like, hey, I don't watch hockey like that, but the Lightning are really good. And then the Lightning,
Is that what you said on the update? I don't be watching it like that, but they'd be good.
I probably should have. I used to get real wild with it for Orlando.
So, no, it was 18-19.
Okay.
They were 62-15. They had 128 points. They got swept in the first round by Columbus. It was awful.
I can imagine your blood pressure is just coming down from that.
It was awful.
Just coming down from that.
It was the worst of all time. And then they win the next year, but then there was weird stuff going on with
the COVID year?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take any Stanley Cup that I can get.
That's true. That's what the Lakers are saying. Take
True.
any trophy we can get. COVID.
True.
Anyway, so that's where we would send the aliens. I would send them to Kansas City. You would send them to Houston. And apparently nobody's sending them to Golden State or the Lightning. I can't believe you didn't pick Golden State, by the way.
Okay. Sometimes, Kasey, you got to, never let them know your next move, man. You got to make strong arguments for your reel, for your sizzle reel. I heard a wise man say that.
All right.
Might be another reason.
Fair enough. Let's go to break. Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. The alien part of the show is over for now. It may creep back up. I don't know for sure. But for now, that's where we'll leave the aliens. And if they're listening, hopefully they take our advice. One of us is right.
And it's not Kasey.
And it's not Brian. But in fairness, if you went to Kansas City right now, it's kind of over. You'd have to wait a whole nother year. You missed the parade. Maybe go to Houston. Maybe go to Tampa. Golden State. Heard it's nice this time of year. I don't know. Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. We're back after this.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mild tonight, temperatures only dropping into the low to mid 60s, and it'll be a warm Friday, breezy, a mix of clouds and sun tomorrow, and there will be some showers late in the afternoon, but still reaching the low 80s. For the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, proud to offer a huge selection of both lab-grown and natural diamonds at the lowest prices guaranteed.
I like getting more. You too? Well, then you're going to love this. Cars, trucks, SUVs, but there's more. Imports, domestics, luxury, but there's still more. Like over 400 pre-owned on the lot. So come find it all and a whole lot more when you shop my friends at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Plus, with Arlington's 30-day exchange program, you get 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. When you want more, get more and pay less at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop in person and online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Football season in the rear view. It's golfing season now. The countdown to the players is on. Before you watch, make sure you play. And don't play golf in Jacksonville without the Dream 18 card. Save on greens fees on some of the best golf courses in the area. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, The Yards, Amelia River Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Buy it now for just $69 and save hundreds of dollars at Action Sports Jacks. Dream18.com. I'll see you on the golf course.
It's go time at UNF Arena for the Ospreys as the calendar is flipped to 2023. ASUN action is underway in men's and women's basketball on the campus of the University of North Florida. If you haven't seen a game courtside or from the new suite, it's one of the best seats in Jacksonville. Swoop with the Ospreys as they build toward a run in March. Buy a ticket, see a schedule, get a score at UNFospreys.com. Be a part of the momentum at the University of North Florida. Hoop it up, swoop it up, UNFospreys.com.
The Carpet Man sells first-quality flooring, whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, ceramic tile, or porcelain tile. Get ready for the best shopping experience of your life. Call the Carpet Man today. Largest warehouse of carpet in Northeast Florida.
I'm John Bachman. The Tom Coughlin J Fund Wine Tasting Gala is back Thursday, March 2nd. Join Coach Coughlin on a scenic downtown riverfront with culinary delights and hundreds of the world's most renowned wines. For more information, visit tcjfund.org/wine.
Hi, I'm Lori Ann Whittington, CEO of Pine Castle. We are so grateful to the Players Championship for supporting our mission of empowering individuals with intellectual and developmental differences. It's 19 days until the Players.
Side by side,
Look around you. There's history being made. Has been. Will be. Just something about those blue skies, high banks and high speed, all coming together in one perfect race. And it'll be here sooner than you think. The Daytona 500 at Daytona International Speedway, February 19th, 2023. Get your tickets now at DayTona500.com.
Lowe's always has more ways for you to save. On top of our everyday low prices, pros can save big when buying in bulk. Or if your purchase is over $1,500, ask about our Volume Savings Program. A pro associate can provide a customized quote. Ask about our Volume Savings Programs today. It always pays to be a pro at Lowe's. While supplies last, minimum purchase required. Selection varies by location. Lowe's reserves the right to limit quantities. Volume discount pricing quotes are valid up to 7 days. Visit your local pro desk to learn more and start saving. Offers subject to change and may not be available in all Lowe's stores.
Count on the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your vehicle and budget. Get maximum cooling system performance for 10 years or 300,000 miles with peak long life universal pre-mixed antifreeze and coolant. Now just $6.99 after mail-in rebate. Plus get 2 times O Rewards points. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly. Limit supply. See store for details.
Hey, it's Brent Mortno from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton, ESPN 690 on a Thursday. Brian Middleton is the broadcast star. Kasey Kurtz with you as well. We take you up until 7 o'clock tonight and tomorrow night as well to close out a week here at ESPN 690. A week that does not have NFL football at the end of it. That's tough. NASCAR, though.
Daytona.
You sound excited.
I'm going to watch it.
Are you?
Yeah, man.
The whole thing?
I'm going to try to. Yeah, I don't have anything else.
So you've actually blocked out your calendar to watch the Daytona 500?
I got to see when it actually starts. I don't know if I blocked out my calendar.
But it's in like the afternoon.
Well, yeah, I figured that one.
Yeah.
Figures it's not a morning race.
Yeah, it's not a morning thing.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Anyway, no NFL football, but we do have NASCAR. NBA All-Star Weekend, I do believe. So, still some options for you, just none of them are NFL football. Brian Middleton, what have you brought to the table today?
Kasey, we got a new segment, and that's what we do here on Overtime.
We just make new segments.
This is what we do that's different than anybody else in the local or Jacksonville metropolitan area.
Say it with your chest.
Okay? Creativity at the nth degree.
Yeah, say it with your chest.
And we appreciate, the love that we get back with the feedback on these different type of segments, man. And the new one today, Kasey, I call it, That's All You Get.
That's all you get.
So this is what happens. I've rummaged through some headlines. I am going to read the headline, and then we're going to give our thoughts on the headline.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
Okay.
Simple stuff.
This does sound simple. This sounds like something that they could potentially come up with.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing right, nothing wrong. I mean, I may buzz you or something like that, but for the most part, Kasey, give your opinion.
Somehow I feel like I will get buzzed more than once.
Well, that's because you picked Kansas City over Houston, but,
That was an obvious one.
That segment is over, so. All right, Case, you ready for the first one?
I guess so.
All right, Case. Ex-Jets Bills coach Rex Ryan emerges as top candidate for Broncos DC job.
I guess it's fine. I mean, he's boys with Sean Payton, I guess, and that's what this is. I mean, Rex Ryan, long, extensive career as a coach. This isn't like a Jeff Saturday situation, even though he's on TV. I mean, this doesn't, move the needle for me. I don't think, and I could be wrong because I'm not a Broncos fan, I can't imagine that if you're a Broncos fan, you're thrilled about it other than Rex is on TV and, the name carries more weight than the game currently would. My man hasn't coached since 2016. You know how different football is from now to 2016? I don't know. It just feels like another move by Denver that won't work, and it's just something else we get to talk about in the downfall of the Broncos. But what do I know, Brian Middleton? What do you think?
Wow, you're really bearish on this move then?
It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
There's like people that have coached since 2016 that are like currently coaching that I'm sure you could find. Could be wrong.
All right, man.
Maybe they got rid of all the coaches from last year.
Well, the connection there, Case, and you probably know about this, Rex's Brian Robb.
Yep.
Defensive coordinator for the Saints for a couple of years under Sean Payton. Listen, man, Rex Ryan, I like him as a coach. Now, I like him as a defensive coordinator, man. I read somewhere that 10 of his 12 seasons between being a head coach and a defensive coordinator, he's had a top 10 defense. That's hard to do in any era. I don't care if it's a
But
pass
this is
happy.
a different one, just to confirm.
Okay, a lot of the same players are there, though. I mean, am I wrong from 2016?
Yeah, you're wrong. You're wrong in the sense of in that division, you're going against Justin Herbert, you're going against Patrick Mahomes, two people that did not play back then, and then whatever the Raiders do at quarterback, potentially Aaron Rodgers. So,
The Broncos defense overall, I think that we wanted more from them, but that secondary is hellacious. I
agree with you there.
And I think that you pair him up with a guy who just knows defense. Rex Ryan knows defense like Stink knows pig. Kasey Kurtz. Rex Ryan, he knows defense like Kevin Durant knows stack teams. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rex Ryan knows defense. This is good right here, Kasey Kurtz. Okay. The way that spy balloons know China.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
That's
listen.
that WOKV coming out.
Hey, you hear it for 6 hours. You're like, hey, here we go. But my point is this. You got a match made in heaven when you talk about a Rex Ryan and you're talking about defense. And if Sean Payton thinks that it's going to be a good fit, Sean Payton not just trying to hire his boys to try to turn things around. He's trying to actually turn things around. He doesn't want to get fired. He doesn't want to have the Nathaniel Hackett happen to him, which won't happen, of course, right?
Not.
So, I'm not mad at that, Kasey Kurtz. I think that if he goes there, Rex Ryan truly believes that he can, do a good job there. And listen, as much as you say he doesn't want to deal with Patrick Mahomes, who does, Justin Herbert to a lesser degree, depending on how that offense really switches up and your boy Brandon Staley really, changes things, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
These guys don't want to really deal with a Rex Ryan defense either.
You are wild.
I don't think so. But then again, who am I? I was only, putting Kansas City at the top of my power rankings for all season, and then, they
So
they
then
won the Super Bowl.
believe in them now. It doesn't matter who they're playing. They're going to score.
I am a visionary, Casey.
Wow.
I don't have to, stick with the line just because I did it last year. I go with where my vision takes me. Anyway.
You was wild.
I'm accurate. Next up, Casey.
Stay on TV, Rex. It ain't worth it.
High school wrestling star body slams coach after winning state title. I just hope that you saw the video.
I didn't.
You didn't. It's exactly what it says.
So he's very excited.
Very. So is the coach.
And he body slams him.
Yeah.
Is the coach hurt?
Coach gets up and just as pumped as the guy who just slammed him, the kid that just slammed him.
Okay, this reminds me then, who was it that was headbutting the players without the helmet on? You remember this story relatively recently? I think it was a college coach just goes around headbutting people without a helmet on.
Oh, boy. Yeah,
and
yeah.
Baker Mayfield did it.
Yeah, Baker, he was wild.
Baker Mayfield did this recently.
In Charlotte, he was wilding.
Yeah. As dudes, why do we have to show our excitement by hitting or hurting somebody else? You ever think about this?
It's the way it's supposed to be.
You score a run or you score a touchdown and when you played sports or whatever, when we would score in baseball, we'd be whacking each other on the helmet. What are we doing? We're hurting ourselves. You know what I mean? That's just what we go to. So, shout out to the kid though for body slamming a full-grown human, by the way. I don't know how I feel.
Okay.
I'm indifferent.
Wow.
You could convince me one way or the other if you got something very passionate.
I'm not passionate. I remember training with wrestlers in the off season, as a football player, and they just wound different.
That's fair.
Even if they play football and they wrestle, they even wound more different than even some of the craziest football players. So, I was just man, I'm going to stick to this off-season training program here on the football team because y'all carrying dudes up stadium steps. We ain't doing like, nah, I'm good, fam. I'm good. So this doesn't surprise me at all. But speaking of coaches that practice or headbutt people without actual protection like a helmet, I had a coach named Coach Thomas.
Okay.
That would wait until we get into goal line part of practice, and he would line up because he played at the University of Illinois back in his day. And he would line up in the backfield, just shirt, shorts, whistle, and be running the ball. I think he got so mad at us one time that he started just going over and over and over again. Finally, he works out all of his aggression and his anger after us, and his face is dripping with blood.
Oh.
And he's like, let's get going. And I was like, this man crazy. He crazy. Anyway, Kasey, I'm not surprised by that body slam. It's a cool video if you can see it. All right, next up. Patrick Mahomes handed off Super Bowl trophy to fan at parade.
Really?
Yeah. Saw the snapshot.
All right. So I had this thought after Brady threw the Super Bowl trophy a couple years ago. You remember that? Almost win the water?
Yeah.
The Super Bowl trophy isn't really the Super Bowl trophy. Like the one they give you on the field that you hold up and you do all that, that is the Super Bowl trophy. And then at some point in time, there's a switch. There's been they pull a fast one on you. They put it back in the case. You get the replica, and that's it. You move on. The real Super Bowl trophy is never put in danger. From the water by Tom Brady, from the fans at the Kansas City parade. But I will say this, shout out to Patrick Mahomes for giving the fans an opportunity, or the fan an opportunity to hold on to the trophy. But here's what I'm telling you, folks. That was not the real trophy. It's a stunt double. It's a dupe.
It's a clone.
It's a clone. I'm leaving it there.
Yeah, well, Case, I don't think he meant to do it. It almost looked like a bit of an accident. But either way, even if he meant to do it, man, he's a man of the people. He's going down the pathway of being the greatest quarterback ever. And he's a man of the people, of the peasants, the paupers, the serfs. He's like, hey, you touch this for a second, okay? Because you'll never be able to do anything close to this in your life.
No, that's fair.
I'm going to give you a little bit of joy that you can hold on to and tell your kids and your kids' kids, and if you live long enough, your kids' kids' kids, okay? That Patrick Mahomes stood next to me, breathed the same air as me, and let you touch the fake Super Bowl trophy. So I was for it, man. I like it. All right, kids. Next up, Tiki Barber.
Oh, boy.
There we go. Says Aaron Rodgers is too sensitive for New York. He can't handle New York media.
What are we doing? I mean, what are we doing?
I can't tell where you're about to go with it based off of that.
First off, nope, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not do that.
I'm just going to talk about Aaron Rodgers. Here's the thing. Everybody keeps saying that about Aaron Rodgers, that he can't handle it. Really? Because Aaron Rodgers doesn't give the word you're thinking about anything. He doesn't.
That's fair.
He do not care. He says what he wants when he wants, and it ain't going to affect him. And I know everybody says New York, oh, the media is different. No, that's not it. Like, he will just go home and do his own thing. Like, he is unfazed. You might think you get him in the press conference, cornered, asking him tough questions. He gives you that little Aaron Rodgers chuckle. He ain't fazed. He going home and not thinking about y'all. He ain't worried about it. He's not too sensitive for anything. He gonna make his comments. He don't care. I mean, it's as easy as that. You ain't gonna rattle this man. Bad take, Tiki Barber. Bad take. I'm not even gonna talk about Tiki Barber.
Sounds like that's where the viral moment's at. You sure?
It might be, but I'm not doing it. I think that everybody saying that about Aaron Rodgers is wrong, just because he says whatever he wants on McAfee's show, doesn't answer the questions in certain ways in the press conferences that you wish he did. But, like, he's going to be fine. He's been fine the whole time, and he's going to continue to be fine doing his own thing.
Okay, hypothetically, though, like, because I know that you're too classy to say exactly what popped into your head, right? I mean, like, you're growing in the radio business, you're growing in broadcasting, you're traveling all over the world covering different big-time sporting events. You're not going to spend your time bashing a Tiki Barber. But hypothetically, if you weren't as mature, what would be some of the subject matter, some of the main points that you would have touched on with Tiki Barber? Just hypothetically, you're not saying it. I'm just asking what you would have said.
I think that Tiki Barber carried it for 4.7 every time he touched it.
That's a compliment.
Yeah, that's all I got for you.
That's where you go. Look
I'm
at you.
leaving it alone.
You're ready. You're ready. Hey, someone sign him to a big contract. He's ready. He just deflected perfectly.
I'm not too sensitive for that New York media. 4.7 is a lot for touch, by the way.
Yeah, it's
He's
a
in the
first
Giants,
down every time.
He's in the Giants Ring of Honor. That's pretty crazy. They share a stadium, but so they got to take that Ring of Honor down when the Jets play. But
I'll take the affirmative.
Cool.
I'll say, hey, listen, he might have a point. Aaron Rodgers has been in Green Bay his entire career. He has won there his entire career. He has gotten them a Super Bowl. He has kept them more than relevant. He has put the team on his back. He has won multiple MVPs. The media kind of know. Aaron Rodgers is to Green Bay, to a certain degree, what Nick Saban is to Tuscaloosa in Alabama. Like, you can go in there and ask him some crazy questions, and some media members have, at the professional level, I guess. But not too many are going to do that, because I think on the back end and back channels that we don't really know about, that can get somebody really squashed. And maybe it's a silent squash where it's just like, yeah, you can't get this up, one-on-one interview. You can't get this part, this access to Aaron. And everybody's going to want that. So listen, I think that coddle may be too strong of a word. I don't think that's happened with that Green Bay media, but we see how ruthless New York media can be. And it can be that way even if you're winning, but especially if you're losing. Now, granted, if he goes to the Jets, I don't think there'd be a lot of losing going on, at least not in the regular season. So I think it would be all hunky-dory. But Tiki Barber may have I think he might have the right message. It may not be the right messenger for multiple reasons. Let's see, Kasey.
Tiki was great on Celebrity Family Feud, by the way.
Oh, so he's quick-witted. I mean, he's intelligent. Let's see. One more, Kasey.
All right.
Jason Derulo launching volleyball franchise in Nebraska, part of Joe Burrow's league. We can make it quick since you look like a nothing about this.
Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo.
Yep. As if I was confused. Jason Derulo's had one hell of a career. My man's has had top 40 hits. My man's has disappeared off the face of the earth, it felt like. He then came back with the same top 40 hits. Rumor has it, Jason Derulo has played at every single grad bash that's ever happened. Rumor has it. And now he's going to run a volleyball team. That's what I got.
I got you. I just put it in there because I wanted to be like, Jason Derulo.
That makes sense.
Kids, go back 09 to about 2012, 13?
It was hot.
If you heard Jason Derulo, it was going to be a problem for 3.5 minutes. It was going to be a problem for 3.5 minutes. In the video, he's going to be dancing his tail off. I'd be like, I don't even like this song, but this dude working too hard, man. Stream it. Anyway, Kasey, that's it. That's it for the initial opening of That's All You Get.
Did Jason Derulo play at your grad bash? He played at mine. And like everyone since.
Probably.
Did you have grad bash? Are you like too old for that?
Probably. Everything you just said. He probably played, and I'm probably too old for that. And he probably built a time machine. Was like, listen, it's gonna be fine.
What's funny about this is with Jason Derulo, like I've never, I don't usually feel old, but right there when you said it, like 09, 13, I was like, yeah, and then I was like, that's like 10 years ago. Dang.
Yeah, there's some kids at that baseball game yesterday that was like...
Are totally unaware of Jason Derulo.
One, and then they looked at Kasey like, how you doing, sir?
Yeah, it actually did happen.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, it's awkward.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Hey, 25, you're good.
Can you do the Jason Derulo one more time?
Jason Derulo!
Look it up. It was fire.
It was a problem.
Whole problem. Overtime with Kurtz and Middleton. We're a problem, and we're back after this.
Ready for a helpful tip? If you've got to drive it, rent it with Rent a Toyota at Arlington Toyota. Whether it's a car for a business trip, an SUV for an outdoor adventure, or a spacious minivan for that family vacation with all the stuff. If you've got to drive it, rent it with Rent a Toyota at Arlington Toyota. Rent a Toyota at Arlington is the best way to try it before you buy it. You can even rent 2023 models. And Arlington's competitive rental rates will put you behind the wheel with ease. Reserve your rental online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Jacksonville is a great place to live. And if you love where you live, you should invest in it. That's why more and more people bank with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. We invest every penny back into North Florida, backing the very best small businesses, nonprofits, and of course the family home. Why put your money with some big out-of-state bank when you can invest in where you love to live? One-to-One Financial. We're your hometown credit union. Sign up today at one-to-one-fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey girl, I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. My shoulder pain has been terrible lately.
Sounds like you need to call Integrity Spine and Orthopedics in Jacksonville. Their brand new facility is incredible. It feels like you're at a spa. Best of all, their top-rated doctors really listen to you and create your own personalized plan.
Nice. I'm calling Integrity right now.
Integrity, where you matter most. Schedule your appointment today at integritymattersmost.com.
Sell your home with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. You'll save time and make the most money. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry, so you can sell your home stress-free and avoid the costly repairs. When you get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, there are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Find out what your guaranteed offer would be. There's no obligation. Call 855-299-SOLD or go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
Certain restrictions apply.
As a business owner, wouldn't it be nice if you could eliminate all the waste on advertising to people who just aren't ready to buy from you? What if you could spend your marketing dollars talking solely to people who are ready to buy a product you sell? Cox Media Group has a very large database to help you reach those exact people. Cox Media Group offers a program called Omni-Channel that starts with an email to your ideal customer who's ready to buy now, and then once they open the email, they will start seeing your message on Facebook and through display ads and video ads. Let us answer any questions you have by heading to cmg.com to find out more. That's cmg.com.
American Window Products offers free low-E coating on select windows at an affordable price that can help reduce your energy usage with 12 months zero-interest financing. Visit AmericanWindowProducts.com for a free estimate.
Financing available at time of sale for new orders only.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine is a fully accredited, tuition-free state public school that gives children an edge for a lifetime of success. FSDB is nationally recognized for its educational services designed for students' unique communication and accessibility needs. Eligible pre-K and kindergarten through 12th grade students benefit from small class sizes, advanced technology, and various recreation, extracurricular, and performing arts activities. Transportation and boarding services are free to any eligible deaf or blind student, kindergarten through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. My name is Trent Ferguson, and I'm a proud graduate of this wonderful school. This place changes lives. To learn more information or to apply for enrollment, call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org.
Football season in the rear view. It's golfing season now. The countdown to the players is on. Before you watch, make sure you play. And don't play golf in Jacksonville without the Dream 18 card. Save on greens fees on some of the best golf courses in the area. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, The Yards, Amelia River Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Buy it now for just $69 and save hundreds of dollars at Action Sports Jacks. Dream18.com. I'll see you on the golf course.
Breaking news.
Tax refund shock is everywhere, but what is it?
My tax refund shrank.
Mine too. The culprit? Pandemic-related stimulus payments and tax credits expiring. In this reporter's opinion, you need a tax expert.
Hey guys, Jackson Hewitt guarantees your biggest refund.
And tax prep is 50% off? Going there now.
50% off is a limited-time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe.
If you've missed any of the show, aliens and Jason Derulo. That's pretty much what we got for you today. I know what you're thinking. This is a sports show. Yes. Sometimes. Other times it's aliens and Jason Derulo.
That's a great way to describe it. Yes, sometimes.
Yes, sometimes. But Sometimes it's not. We will try to wrap up with sports, but it's actually really not sports. It has to do with financial advice if you're in certain cities. Fat Joe.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Thank you, Fat Joe. Cheap ticket report on a Thursday. And I don't know why this didn't click in my head before today, but we could do cheap ticket report on college basketball games. But we will start with the NHL, and we will start in Raleigh, North Carolina. Going there in a couple of weeks, as a matter of fact. Looking for hockey tickets, as a matter of fact. I'll tell you what, they're pricey when I'm going to be there. But hey, tonight, if you're in Raleigh, the Carolina Hurricanes are good. They're playing the Montreal Canadiens, maybe the most legendary team in the history of hockey. Upper level 311, row N. Couple of tickets, Brian Middleton. You got $7. You got a 5 and 2 singles. That's crazy.
That's what we like to hear. They care about you there.
Yeah. Let's go to Columbus. Do they care about you there? Let's find out. The Winnipeg Jets are coming to town, another Canadian team. Have somewhat of a following. The Columbus Blue Jackets, who are the team, by the way, that beat the Lightning, and we were talking about at the beginning of the show, swept them out of the first round. It all comes full circle. Upper level 215, row J. You got a 5 and 3 singles. $8. $8 to go to a professional hockey game. Does that say more about hockey or people? I don't know.
I thought you were talking about Portland for a second.
Oh, Portland. They're not in the final night of NBA before the All-Star break, but we do have a couple of teams that are. The Chicago Bulls are one. They'll play the Milwaukee Bucks. And upper level 329, row 11. We talking the United Center, legendary place, $43.
Can't do it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there. We quickly go to the Washington Wizards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. It is Karl Anthony Towns bobblehead giveaway night. Love me a good bobblehead. Lower level 121, row N. Couple of tickets, Brian Middleton. Now remember, you get the bobblehead. You get the bobblehead.
Well, you better talk real reckless, okay?
You get the bobblehead, and you're in lower level 121. This is prime. $36.
Damn.
No, I can't do that either, man. Single ticket?
Yeah.
But see, you got somebody that you're going to take. So double that.
2 bobbleheads. Let's check on your alma mater, the real GSU. They will play basketball against Marshall tonight in Marshall.
Here we go.
I can't wrap my head around this one fully. Brian Middleton, the cheapest we could get in as non-alumni, well, I guess this would change for you, $34.
Can't do it.
What in the hell are we doing? $34?
Hey, man, it's a show wherever they go.
Let me give you another one. Milwaukee at Youngstown State. I will give you 45 guesses. You won't be able to guess it because it's $36. What? I'm with you there. But here's what doesn't make sense.
All right.
The UCF Knights and the Memphis Tigers, $4. The Ohio State Buckeyes and the Iowa Hawkeyes, $3.
Now we talking.
But Georgia Southern's 35. Come on, somebody.
It's a show. It's a show everywhere we go.
That's why you're wearing the hoodie. For Brian Middleton, I'm Kasey Kurtz. Have a great night, everybody. I want to eat a spicy chicken in my Tesla. Is it too much to ask?